People are here. It's a good environment.
We want to set up here today to kind of showcase the community.
Are you trading up just because you want to have that high-end card to sell, or you just want to hold it just to have it?
But is it processing or are we
Gambling.
Is it gambling? I took the perspective of I need to get to know more people and like have conversations with.
Is this one of those things like, oh, you want to make this deal? I'll put you on my video. Like, nah, I'm okay.
Y'all ready for Dr. Strange? Just a question. Are you ready, bro?
See, and then he had it signed by him.
No, when they cut Darth Maul in half, I literally yelled out, "No!"
If I would have known BGS has more value long-term wise, I think I would have went that route.
But do you have certain cards that you know you're gonna hold on to?
Yeah, FD, man, I'm in it for the long term.
JD,
What's up, man?
what's up,
What's
bro?
up? Shit, I had to sneak out for like.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I can hear you now.
Yeah, I just
Yeah.
had to sneak out for a minute. Say what's up.
It's all good, bro. It's all
What's up,
good. How's the party going?
Oh, it's still going, but I told wifey let me just stop out for a few minutes to say what's up to FD.
It's all good, bro. It's all good.
Man, how was the show? Let's get right into that. I want to know.
Oh, I thought the show was great. Newport is always it's a good show. Good vendors. I picked up a few cards. What was cool is that I had a chance to bring my daughter Haley out. G came out. Junior came out. So we were walking around, man.
Oh, you brought the whole family? Oh, I
Yeah.
definitely should have pulled up. I would have met the whole family.
Yeah, everybody was there. I'm pretty sure we'll do it again. We'll bring people.
You have
back.
a daughter?
Yeah, Haley's 24, man. Yeah.
Oh, FD, man, you holding out, man. I thought I knew everything.
Haley's 24. Went to UCLA. Yeah.
What? She graduated?
Yes. Yeah, been out now 3 years, 2.5.
That's nice.
Yeah.
That's
man.
nice. That's crazy. Did you pick anything up?
Yeah, I picked up a I did something that I don't usually do.
You traded?
No, picked up that would be something I don't usually do. But I picked up a Marvel PMG.
What made you want to do that?
I saw the card, loved the movie. So I'm telling you, G and I are walking. As soon as I turn to go down another aisle, I see the card. I know the person that's selling it. I've talked to them before. Good people. I see the card, and I just zero in on that card. And I said, "Gee, I'm about to do something I've never really done before."
What movie was it? Which one was it? Or are you gonna
Black
wait?
Panther Killmonger card.
What? Oh, that's different. That's different.
Hold on here. Let me see if I can grab it right quick. This will be my one sneak peek before the show. Hold on one second.
Yeah. Let me see.
Oh, it's already in the safe, man. Let me see if I can pull a picture up. Hold on here. See if I can pull a picture up for you, JD. Hopefully you can see this. Let me zoom it in here. Can you see that?
Oh, it's graded? What are we talking? What grade? 10?
PSA 10, bro. Pop 5.
What's the number? What's the card number to?
There's no number on the card. It's just a pop
Oh,
5.
it's not? Okay. Damn. That's nice.
It was cool, man. I love the character. I can't wait for the
Eric, yeah. Did you watch the What If series of him?
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Anything Killmonger, man, I'm going to get on. I'm watching that.
that guy has some sort of like swagger to him. You know?
Oh yeah, we need to see more of him.
I need more. I need that type of attitude, arrogance, in a sense. It's like,
I call it stick-to-itiveness and getting it done.
yeah, by all means.
He sets a goal, but you know what? You watched the Black Panther movie, right? You know why he had a problem with people. It's not like what's up with this guy? Why is this guy? That was a very interesting situation. So,
Yeah. What else did you guys did you see anything that caught your eye that you haven't seen in a
I
while?
took a picture of that Kyrie Irving card for you and sent it to you. I had moved on. I didn't even get a chance to even ask the price. Next time I will. to match the price of the car. But there was a lot of good cars there, man. There was a lot of good. It's always a cool show, man. We're talking to some people about Burbank coming up. Talk to Jay a little bit about the next premiere coming up
in 2 weeks.
Yeah,
2 weeks. That's crazy. How is it gonna pop up that fast?
This year is moving. So we got Kamikaze Car Collector saying, "What's up, fellas? What's up? What's up?" April says she loves the.
Yeah, my daughter loves Mickey Mouse. So
that's right. That's right. You got a rep, bro. I like how you got the ears on Bed-Stuy jersey, though.
Oh, I know. It's one of those things where I was running around since yesterday, so I just put on whatever I had on, whatever I can see.
Yep. Baker Boy's in the house. PMG, nice. Baker Boy is in the house.
What year is that PMG?
2014. No, when did the movie come out? 2008. 2018? 2018.
Who makes PMG? Is it Upper Deck or who makes it?
PMG is hold on.
Christian crazy.
What did Christian say? My man.
He said, I'm going live.
Sometimes we have to do this, Christian. Yeah,
just real quick, man. I just
have no problems going live from sitting in the middle of anywhere.
Yeah, I just have to go real quick, just to a little few minutes, and then Alex is gonna jump in.
Yeah, Alex is gonna be here, man. Clear Skybox.
Clear? Oh, okay. Dang, that's crazy. Sin City said, "Let me see it."
I didn't see. I know Sin City. Sin City's like, this dude bought a PMG. I hope you can see.
Was it crowded yesterday?
It was a pretty good crowd there. There you go.
Did you stay for trade night, or you guys just bounced?
No, I was out. We left at lunchtime.
What you guys end up doing afterwards? Just chilling with the family?
Here, and I think just relax.
How was that drive? Come on, man.
The drive going down was an hour and 40 minutes, something like that. Drive coming back was about 2 hours and 40 minutes. Thank you, Sin City. Appreciate you, bro. I mean, I got nothing but love for that movie, man. People know that I've shown one of two Black Panther posters that I just love the movie. So when I saw that, and I love the character of Killmonger. So
see you later. Yeah, I can't believe I didn't even know they made a card of him too. That's wild. I was eyeing this 2011 Marvel and Susie, whatever you want to call it, Doctor Doom. And guess what? It sold in the morning. So I was like, man, I knew I should have just jumped on it. Because it's one of those cars you hardly see. And then a PSA 10 listing's going for like $1,000. So I'm just like, man, this is a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see how it goes.
Art says, FD, I like the hip hop influence on the intro to your videos. It's time for you to lay down a couple of verses for it. I have no problem. I would have no problem laying down a verse. We've talked about. I think you all know that sometimes we'll make a song for something. So we made a song for the Mint. We went to the Mint. We made one for Delmar when we went to Delmar. Art, that may be coming your way. We've talked about it in the past.
We should do a little bar. Like, let me throw a little 16 in there.
Yeah, it's all good.
Let me get my Kanye on.
It's all good.
I can make the beat. Let's do some. We should sample like something. Sample like some cards or I don't know, something crazy like ripping. Tell G to come up with a beat.
All right, yeah, we mixed a little bit. Also, we've been throwing in more pop, all different types of music, a little reggae. So you're gonna hear different stuff, man. That's how we roll. What's up, fellas? Smoothness 1000. What's up? How you doing? Baker Boy, big game tomorrow. I don't really look at it as a big game.
It is, man. The winner is on peak of winning, and the loser's on peak of elimination.
So last night, right? I like to look back on greatness, right? So last night I watched almost half of the 1998 Eastern Conference Finals, Game 7, between the Bulls and Indiana Pacers.
That was Jordan's last one, right?
George's last one. Bulls come out. They're down before you know about 15. Game starts down. So we talk when I always look at stuff like this, right? I go way out and I come back. One day it'll be a trivia question. Who did Golden State beat in 2022 in the finals? And then somebody will say, oh yeah, that's when Tatum and Brown were together, and they were in Boston. You remember that team? And then somebody will look up and say, well, who's their starting five? That's about it, man.
We'll see. You know, the story gonna change when it's the other way around.
It's not gonna be the other way around.
I
We
don't
gotta
know.
embrace greatness, man. We talked about this before.
We'll see. Tomorrow's the next two games are gonna be the most entertaining, competitive.
It will be entertaining. They will be competitive. Boston is not laying down for anybody.
Rama.
Oh, it won't be any drama like Memphis. It won't be anybody smacking somebody upside the head.
No, I mean it's just gonna be like when Curry hits a three, Tatum goes back down, hits another three. Oh, Draymond turns the ball over.
So did you see the clips where Bellinelli was D'ing up?
Oh yeah, that boy was playing some. It's one of those things where
he was like this. He was like this. Just locking Tatum down.
He's been in the league for like what, a few years or like I don't know, 7+ years. And it's your first time playing in the NBA Finals, and you're actually playing. Man, please, if I'm playing, I'm giving it my all.
Did you see how Klay Thompson locked down Jaylen Brown in the game?
Mm-hmm.
Locked down. And now people say Klay has a knee injury, an Achilles injury. He can't move. He's a shell of himself. He can't move left or right. Jaylen Brown has had no major injuries.
Mm-hmm. I think that's just experience and just being there, knowing what it takes to win. I think that's the difference, and that's how Golden State's gonna squeak this out. Is just because they know what to do. They know that a run's gonna come, and they just gotta weather the storm, and that it's a game of runs. It's their turn. Okay, it's our turn, but who's gonna have the last laugh at it all?
You want me to predict the future a little bit? When we try to predict.
Oh, do it.
Klay Thompson's gonna have a huge game coming up, and Draymond Green is going to redeem
Klay. Game 6 Klay. FD, you know this.
That's right. Draymond Green is going to redeem himself before the series is over.
He's gonna have a triple-double to close it out. That's what's gonna happen.
That 38-16 Draymond that was versus Cleveland is gonna come back.
That's gonna be wild.
All right, so we got Wakanda Forever. It's gonna be fire. I was too. JD, if that's your Dr. Doom, is Dr. Doom your guy?
Yep, it's my guy. Yeah, I just think what's happening. I mean, if you read Secret Wars and you just understand what's happening, he's gonna make an appearance sooner or later, and I'm just ready for it. And plus he's a cool character. I didn't know he's a sorcerer. He could do all these things, and so he's just I just love his costume. He's just an amazing all around character.
All around. Hey, Amari said, "What is the big topic tonight?" Amari, we kind of left it open. We wanted to see what people want to talk about because we're going to be back soon talking about the NBA Finals. So, do you want to talk about? Is there something about cars you want to talk about? You want to jump into? Is there a local show that you've been to lately? You want to talk about something there? You want to talk about something in the world of sports? A cool movie you saw. What's your favorite song right now? Whatever you want to talk about.
My God, I don't know. I'm just excited. I'm just excited what's gonna happen. You know, with everything.
I think this is an interesting comment though. Smoothness says Horford shouldn't be on the court when Steph is playing because they're going to exploit that switch. Now in Game 1, people were loving Horford.
It's easy. It's easy to be like loving something at the time. You know what it is though? Each game. That's why the playoffs is like so up and downs because if one team loses and the other team wins, they're jumping on it like there's no tomorrow.
True.
Back then it was just like you wait to the last series. I mean, wait till the series is over. But now it's like, oh, this is what happened in game. This is what game one. Oh, the Warriors lost. That's it. Oh, the Warriors came back and they might win. And then we go to Boston, same thing. So we'll see, because that media just wants to portray a story and just come up with something, and then realistically, we can't make a decision or a conclusion to the end of the series.
Now this comment is interesting to me. Sylvester Boston says, "What's up? Warriors need tomorrow because they're not going to win another game in Boston."
Yeah,
it's interesting that Sylvester Boston said that.
No, but the Warriors are gonna win. The Warriors are gonna win. They can win in Boston. That's not a problem. They already did it last game. Do people not remember what happened?
Yeah, it's not an issue, Sylvester. Are you a Boston fan, or is your name just happen to be Boston? But I don't think it's gonna be a problem.
Man.
Patience is the key to the hobby, in my opinion. Oh yeah, Kamikaze. Patience. You can have a card that you're seeking. You think you may have lost a deal on something. You didn't see that card, or you can't find it anymore. Then you see the card again.
Yeah, I 100% agree. Patience is probably the biggest thing that everybody needs to practice while doing this hobby, just because of like you said, it's because if you buy something and when you buy it really low or really high, you're just gonna have to wait it out, because it's always gonna go up and down, up and down. If you believe in the card or the player, you just have to just be patient enough that it's gonna go back up.
Amari, how you plan to move in the hobby with possibility of a looming recession and major pullback in the hobby? I don't, Amari. I'm just gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you this right here. You hear this question, JD? How you planning to move in the hobby with possibility of a looming recession and major pullback in the hobby? Amari, I'm not changing anything that I'm doing right now. Not one thing. I'm not BSing you. I'm not making something up. I developed a strategy of how I go about looking for cards. That is, the economy will not affect what I'm doing. What I'm buying is a certain type of card. Even if these cards that I've already purchased drop, I am fine with that, because I tried to buy something that you don't see on every table.
No,
You don't see it on everyone's eBay.
I 100% agree. So
let me know, Amari, what are you thinking of making some changes, or what are some things that you're looking at? I think this is a great topic.
Yeah, it was funny because I was talking to, who was I talking to about this? I don't know who I was talking to, but he was just talking about we're technically in a recession, and so that means people are going to want to sell really low just because they're going to need the funds, or you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So at this point, I mean, you're just doing your research. Nothing changes, honestly. Yeah, I understand it's supposed to be in a recession, but if you stay to your basic principles of collecting, you'll be okay. You're doing your research, right? Yep. Studying the market, understanding how rare is the card, if it's graded, the population, the graphs. We always talk about charts, to float the chart, see where it's at a few months ago, and see what's the situation like going to be for that player or team moving forward, and you just make a decision based on what you think is the right one. And again, you just got to be patient with everything.
Sure. Now this is a great question, because we just had Alex show up, so let's bring Alex in. Alex, what's up?
What's up, man?
Yeah, I'm digging that new look, JD. Hell yeah!
It's my daughter's birthday. I told FD I'm just gonna sneak in for a little bit, so you gotta. I'm gonna jump.
Yeah. Family first, my friend. Family first. I like that. I like the ears though. That's hot. Dude. You guys go to Disneyland today or what?
No, my daughter's like a big Disney. She loves Moana, Ariel, Mickey Mouse, and all of them. So we just have.
How old's baby girl?
3.
Oh yeah.
I have a 3-year-old and I'm gonna have a 2-year-old in 6 months. So another part in the.
Congrats, bro. Dude, it goes by so fast. I'm sure FD will tell you.
Oh yeah.
It's crazy because. Just on that topic real quick, since we're just getting into that. But when my son was like 2 or 3, we had the Disneyland pass, right?
Oh, yeah.
2 or 3. Mind you, this is my first kid, my first rodeo. He doesn't remember none of that shit, right? Like I wish I would have waited to like 6 or 7 But oh yeah, I was like full on Disneyland dad for the first 2 or 3 years.
Well,
It
he'll
was
have
awesome.
the pictures you took. He can look back on. But I'm
Yeah.
sure he won't remember.
No, I ask him all the
I
time.
think that's what everybody does for the first child. Man, you wanna get in there and start
Yeah.
having experiences. You know.
We went all
yeah.
out. We go out all out, and then, but it's like you said, it's those experiences you want to have and the memories with your kid. The first one's always the best feeling. You know. I don't. How many kids do you have, Alex?
I should have one.
Yeah, I have two, and I mean, obviously, there's a difference, but still, like the first one's always gonna be the special one for me.
Oh yeah, yeah. He's been a great addition to my life as well as a great birth control. So shout out to my son.
I know, and plus, you play a big role. You're coaching his You're coaching his team, right?
Yeah, I coach his football team. I coach his basketball team, or not his basketball team. Excuse me, football team and his baseball team. So I was happy. We were running at the same time too. Like and with the fall ball, it's kind of like a different scenario for baseball. But it just so happens the NFL Flag League and the baseball league are run at the same time. So we were literally 6 days a week, and as fun as it is, and I recommend any dad doing that or mom, don't matter. But we had zero time throwing homework and extracurricular stuff, school stuff. It's like damn, like it was really rough for me to get to any of these shows, let alone do my own shows.
But it was.
It was wild. But
what it learned, but I think what your son and other children are going to take from that. What I learned is time management.
yeah,
Man,
One
see,
hundred
y'all
percent.
getting on some good
You don't
stuff
walk
right
through
now.
that, and then later on, you're like, man, I don't know how to do this and do multiple things at one time, and it teaches you all that.
And balancing everything out.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's game over. Anything I need to get done, I got to get done before 3:00 because I got to go pick him up from school. Which, in actuality, 2:45 because you got to get there, right? So it definitely teaches you time management. That's a great point. And I think in the beginning, when it was like before he was in school and all that, it was just kind of like, okay, what are we doing today? You have the whole day. They're not in school yet, so we'd literally go to Disneyland every Wednesday. I'll never forget. Every Wednesday we'd go down there. So.
Oh man, that's the best thing, dude. I just love
I
hearing
had the
stories.
goofy ears though. I didn't rock mini. I rocked goofy.
I had some, man. I just had to do it for today. But yeah, whatever makes my
Do it,
kids
bro.
happy.
Do it. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I would do something. I would put something on, and if Junior and Robert wanted to see that, or even G was getting into something, I would. It's all good.
Sacrifices we have to make.
Somebody made it for us, right?
Yeah,
that's 100% true.
yeah,
100%.
definitely somebody did. I think in a lot of cases too, it's like whatever you lacked at one point, like growing up, you tend to want to do for your kids, right? Which is one thing I'm kind of learning to balance. It's like, oh shit, I want to do all these things, but at the same time, I got to make sure I implement the same type of understanding of the world that I had. So parenting, man, we can have a whole podcast on parenting, right?
Good.
Like,
Good.
and I bet you there'd be a shit ton of viewers
I'm
that
coming.
can relate.
I agree. So Alex, there was a question on the table here. Let me find this. Amari asks, "How you moving?"
Right back.
All right.
Let's
Sure,
catch
man.
you.
Enjoy your daughter's birthday, brother.
Yep.
All right, guys. Oh, I got you.
Alex asked the question, "How you plan to move in the hobby with the possibility of a looming recession and major pullback in the hobby?" And I answered, "I don't plan to do anything different."
Yeah, I mean I guess that's a great. It's like a really individualized question too, right? Like how overextended you are. What is it that you're doing? Is it like you only have a grail card? So I mean, for me, I probably won't do too much different. I'll probably offload a few things that don't have like sentimental value to me. But even then, like I'm not gonna a panic sell like by any means. My Jordan pools are probably most likely gonna stay with me no matter what, right?
That's a good play.
And we can get into that some more, of course. But man, they've been hard for me to sell. Period, since the moment I picked them up. Like, and I got them like low. And I saw them rise. I was kind of like, okay, no. Even the silvers. I think I got rid of a few base pair of silvers and stuff like that. But I'm planning on keeping that kid for quite some time. FD.
I
I
think
see it.
he can only hurt himself.
Mm-hmm.
His ability is. So I asked a question, and I want to get your opinion on this. I asked this question
Yeah.
a couple of weeks ago to someone. J Mike, I had J Mike on, and I asked, who do you think is going to have a better long-term career, Jordan Poole or John Morant?
Well, I've actually. That's funny that you say that because we were playing. I think we were playing pickup basketball, and it was me, CNC, and Wiley, and I think it was Leo, and I think Tony Breaks was there. And I said something along the line. I'm not. I'm pretty sure it was John Morant, and I said something along the lines like, "I believe in Jordan Poole more than I believe in John Morant long term." Now that's very biased, right? I love John Morant. I love what he brings to the league.
So do I.
I love watching him. Like that athleticism, it reminds me a lot. You know what it reminds me a lot of is Derrick Rose
Yep.
when he first entered the league. And I had never seen such an explosive player, I think, that I can think of at that time. And then I think Russ came a little bit after that, and I was thinking like, this is nutty. But I think Poole, in my opinion, if he can get out of his head a little bit and develop, right? He's
Yes.
22. I think he might have turned 23. He
Turns
needs a little bit
a week from today.
a week from today, so he's right there. I think that he has all the not only the supporting cast, but like the skill set
Mm-hmm.
to really be great. Like I see stints of it, and I see stints. I'm like, what the fuck, dude? Like, excuse my language, but I'm just thinking, just slow down. Slow down. No one to slow down, and no one
But
to
you know what
speed
I
up.
think about when I think about him doing that? Like, why can't he just slow down? Because 2 years ago he was in the G League, and he's 22 right now. He's rolling with one GOAT. I think Clay personally is top 35, top 40. If someone argues me on that, that's cool. But that dude can play basketball. Then you got Draymond out here who's like a coach on the floor. You got a Hall of Fame coach who played with the GOAT on the sidelines talking to you.
Yeah.
I think he just gets amped up. And then I think when he realizes the last game, he seemed like he tried to pull back a little bit.
He did.
When he starts realizing that he can do that and still control the court, it's going to be dangerous.
Yeah, I think really he's either going to be his own worst enemy, right, moving forward, or we're going to see him blossom into the play. I mean, it's got to be hard, right, to play alongside because you ain't taking shots from Curry, and you're not going to take any shots from Clay, no matter how bad he's playing. You ain't taking like he's still going to continue to shoot
Yes.
without getting pulled. I think Poole obviously has to be a little bit more selective, but another thing I think he needs to do is like I think he just needs to penetrate. I don't think anyone can guard him one-on-one.
No.
So he needs to have the defense collapse
Mm-hmm.
and penetrate. So maybe assists is where his leading category may go, but that all comes with time. I think back to when I was 22 FD. It's like, bro,
I couldn't imagine if I was on that stage at 22, 23 years old. I couldn't imagine.
So a little maturation, but he has a deep ball. He can penetrate. He's long.
He
He's
shoots
6'4".
from the free throw line.
Yeah, I mean,
How many weaknesses in
he
this
has
game?
it, but I mean, it's a good debate on how much of a mental how mental that just any game is, right? Like we've seen, because he could very well end up like Dinwiddie, right? Like a role player for a portion of his career. Because I remember scouting Dinwiddie a while back when I think it was on the Nets. It might have even been before that. I don't know. I forget who drafted him, but I remember thinking like, damn, this dude can play ball, right? But I don't think we ever really seen him showcase his ability until this playoffs on like that level.
I agree.
Like a lot of people probably don't even know who Dinwiddie is until these playoffs.
But he still has a way. There are certain players to me that show themselves, like they show their ability and what they can do, and then they'll disappear for a little bit in the game. They're still running around the court. They're grabbing the ball, passing the ball to somebody, but they're not aggressive. And then Woody at some points can shoot your lights out. And then at other points, he's just another player on the court.
Yeah, it's crazy. Consistency comes back to that, right? Like all these players are great, That's why they're here. That's why how they got there. But
Yes.
they can't. It's the ones that can consistently go out and be great that are going to last. And I truly believe everybody in the NBA at this point in time, there's nobody that's not supposed to be out there.
No, not at all.
You know, and Dinwiddie. Let's take Wiggins for example. I think number one overall draft pick.
Yes.
And he came out like with a little bit of like people were hyped on him. I think, especially when he played in Minnesota,
Mm-hmm.
and it was kind of a dry career. I don't know. It's like all these things we're seeing is what I kind of expected to see from him
But
throughout
on
the
those
course of his
teams,
career.
you draft to number one, you're asked to be the leader. You're asked to motivate yourself. You're asked to go. You need to be going right now. I think he's the kind of player that needs someone to be in his ear talking to him.
Yeah, he needs Draymond.
Kind of like you saw the other night with Iguodala, kind of on his ass.
I love that clip that you posted.
Yeah.
I love that, and that's
But you see
why
how
I
he
think
played. Then you see how he played the next game. 17 and 16.
I'm telling you, I don't even think he's getting talked about enough in just the playoffs in general, throughout the whole playoff. Without Wiggins, they wouldn't even be in the finals, in my
But I
opinion.
wonder what does he do though, because does he try to go somewhere and lead a team after this, or is he
I think it's
good?
a little late. I think it's a little late, and because how old is he? 30. He's 30, right?
Let me see. Wiggins has to be somewhere around there.
I want to say 30 or 31. I think he's 2014.
He's 27.
Oh well, see, like
195.
there you go. I mean, that's gonna be a great question. Same with Poole, right? I think a lot of people, depending how he plays, it's just can he be a leader somewhere? That's another question.
Yep.
Because I don't know if Wiggins really embraced that leadership role when he was called upon to do that. But the guy can play. He could play he can hoop. His vertical, I mean, the tenacity he's been playing with, I think he took him being kind of in that role position and understanding like maybe I'm like on this team, he's not that guy. Like there's only one guy on that team.
It's only one.
That's another
And
thing
I think
like
the world
as
is
well.
starting to understand who that one guy is. That one guy's been disrespected. People say a bunch of stuff about what he can't do. And I think when you do stuff so well, right, people find something to talk about. Now, I always say this, right? Durant could have came to Golden State. Curry could have said, "This is my team." They could have been bickering back and forth. It could have been Kobe Shaq like.
Could have,
right?
yeah.
Which would have probably tore up the team. But he took the stance of, "I'm gonna let you run it, man." But then he gets knocked for that. Well, you didn't really step up and take control of the situation, and then you deferred to him in some games. And so if he wins this championship, should erase that conversation.
Yeah.
And then if he wins 5, there really is no conversation.
Yeah, I mean, not to mention how this man like single-handedly changed the way there's generational players, right? Throughout each and every sport, I feel like, and he's one of them. He literally changed the way kids in parks play basketball.
Yep.
So let's just put the stats aside, right? Like Ray Allen didn't change it. Reggie Miller didn't change it. It was literally single-handedly Steph Curry. So to me, the things I see, I'm just like, this is crazy.
Well, I'm surprised. Like Ray and Reggie, they came off screens, right? Rip Hamilton too. I always told him in that. They came off screens, popping. Curry comes down. He's controlling the rock, and he still gets his shot off. He's not waiting for anybody. He can still come off the screen. Draymond has set it for him. Looney has set it for him. He'll still do that, but he can come down and create his own shot. Reggie and Ray Allen.
No,
that was their game.
No. He's the best off-ball player I've ever seen. His stamina's crazy, and he's crafty with the basketball. Like he can penetrate when he wants to, and he kind of slows the game down a little bit because he's not he's not a Westbrook explosive, right?
No,
His
no.
handle is it's up there with Kyrie's and those guys, but he's not super explosive. So to me, he's able to slow the game down, kind of like Luka a little bit, but he also you can't even give him a foot
No. Even if
after the
you have
half court.
your hand up,
After the half
even
court
if your
line, yeah,
hand is up, he's still just rising right over that, shooting like it's nothing.
what's crazy to me is that he has developed that shot is so because you play it when you play and you see a guy coming in to block the shot, you sometimes you kind of there's a little movement. Like there was that one play last game where he fell at the ground, he was waiting, he was calling
Yeah,
like what the heck. His posture and his form on that shot was like nobody was around him. There
it's
was
like the best.
no yeah, and that takes just so many just repetition, 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 repetition. And there's no guarding that.
Mm-mm. You know, the story his brother told is that Steph was, smaller. He went through a growth
Yeah.
spurt. So he'd like to shoot the ball right in front of him.
Yeah.
And Dale, his father, told him, "You're going to get that blocked all day, all night." So Dale took him in the backyard. Steph didn't want to do it. And he forced him to take the ball to the side. You notice he shoots the ball on the side of his head.
Yeah.
So he
100%.
forced him to take it from here to the side of his head so that it's harder to block. And Steph talks about how Steph is crying. There's some shouting back there. There's different things going on because he did not want to change his shot. I know him and his father now probably talk sometimes about. You remember?
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah, right.
Oh, I'm sure. It is. And on that shot was a perfect example because he was kind of so far out forward that you couldn't really come from the side and block it. I noticed that shit. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like I'm thinking
it's a
like
great ball. Yeah, you notice it.
I'm just thinking like dang, like he's able to adjust like that, knowing he can feel that pressure coming from the side. So little things like that, I'm just like, this guy is just
It's different.
crazy. Like it's different. And I think the series is over. I think there's no way Boston can come back in Golden
I
State.
don't think so either. Mm-mm.
If it
You can't
wasn't for
you
that
can't
fourth
back
quarter, game
4 or 5.
one, I mean,
Yeah, you can't back 4 or 5 Hall of Famers into the corner and be like,
no,
"Nah, I know you're gonna fold up." No, I don't think so.
no, I don't think so either.
And also, it was interesting to me the expressions on the team, their faces as they exited the court in the last game and walked to their locker room. They looked like
Deflated, just absolutely deflated.
yeah, people's mouths were open, looking around at each other like what is that?
I think because part of you have to assume like they knew the type of ball game that they played because they've been playing all together all year, and they could probably rate their performance. That was probably one of their better performances.
It
And
was.
they still couldn't get it done.
It was. That's the thing
Still
about
couldn't
Boston.
get it done.
Played well the other night.
They played well all series.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I give a mad credit to Boston. Smart's impressed me. Robert Williams has impressed me.
Oh,
I
Williams.
mean, Horford I didn't know he had a three ball like that. It's like in one game, I was like, this guy he lights out with a three. Like what? Defensively,
Awkward shot, but accurate shot.
awkward. Maybe that's why I'm not impressed. I'm like,
Yeah, to
that's
handle
damn.
the ball. It's
Yeah.
it's different, but it works for him. So we got Sylvester Boston here that says, "Oh, his name is so." Sylvester Boston is cheering for Boston. His last name is Boston. He says, "Born and raised in New York. Even though they won the last game, Curry had to score 40. Draymond mentally is shook." Sylvester thinks that Boston's going to win. It's going to be interesting. What's up, Reverend Reps? How you doing? When you research and buy what you like, the recession will come and go, and you will be in good shape. Too many people have been buying only based on money, and that is not good. That's a part of it.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think about where we're headed, the climate that we're stepping into. Not just cars, obviously, just everything's a little wacky, right? Like shortage on sriracha. I mean, that's my favorite sauce, FD. Like I when I heard that, I panicked.
Wow. Like what's going on? This world still rotating?
Bro, I literally put sriracha on everything except for cereal. So when they made that announcement,
I just learned something, Alex. I didn't know that.
yeah, no, that's a real statement. You can ask my mom next time she's here. When they made that announcement, it rattled me a bit. You know what I'm saying, FD? It rattled me a bit.
I can say. So what's your plan B? Like what's your next go-to? What do you no sriracha? What then?
I mean, you got to go like Cholula, which is a poor supplement. So I don't know. I gotta get creative in the kitchen, I guess. What I will say, FD, this is totally off topic.
What's that?
I learned how to use an air fryer recently.
Okay. Yeah.
Do you use an air fryer?
I do not. I know some people who do.
Have you ever used an air fryer?
Yes, in life. Yes.
And it wasn't like revolutionary to you?
That's good. Yeah, it's good.
You've never used an air fryer, have you?
I have.
If you have it, it's okay. Just let me know.
No, I have.
Oh yeah.
I have.
Well,
Yeah.
I literally cooked a steak in an air fryer the other day, bro. I didn't know air fryers got down like that.
No, I didn't know you could cook steak in it. But I never really ate a lot of steak though.
Oh, I'm a steak guy. Probably should. I probably need to stop being a steak guy, right? I probably need to.
How often do you eat steak though?
Probably too much. Not like more than a couple times a week, but
Okay.
like if I could eat a steak, if I could eat a steak a couple times a week, I probably would. Right. I'm a little spoiled with steaks though, so I'm like a steak snob.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. T-Bones, Las Vegas at the Red Rock.
Well, anything at the Red Rock, right? I think you go to Las Vegas unless you choose to have a bad food. Unless you choose to do that. I mean, that's great food all around.
Yeah, I would say so. I think they're kind of known for that, right? I try not to eat the seafood there. That's a long way from the beach.
Oh, really? You're on seafood distribution when
no, I just always think that. I always think like I'm flying in. Like I don't know. Like it's just a lot of things could go wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like,
good. Let me see where's his phone coming.
Do you have a house phone, FD?
Yeah, I have a phone here. I don't even
answer
know
that. I answer that, please. I got to know who the hell's calling you on the house phone.
Where is it at? Oh, here. Here we go. Oh, it's a spam call. It's a spam call. It's a spam.
You need extended auto warranty, most likely, right? Like, I need to get in touch with that. I need to get in touch with those guys' marketing team, man.
Hold on here, Alex. Wow, we got a whole message going here. There we go. I think we're clear. Yeah, we're clear now. Back to the program.
Yeah.
All right, so we got some conversations here about the recession. Reverend Rip says, we talked about this. Art said, I'm kind of lower end collecting in terms of funding my collection. Do you think prices will go down at shows as dealers are going to want to unload inventory? I missed the 10 25-cent boxes of 2019. That I don't know. I don't know how prices will go down with dealers at shows based upon market comps. That I don't know. I have seen some people with some inflated prices, but I think that's a small percentage of people that will sell them. I have conversations with people and some people that I go to on a regular basis when I'm at a show to talk to about cars, and their prices are pretty much market comps.
Yeah. I mean, I think prices will go down on things that you would kind of forecast prices going down on, right? Like, so I think the base stuff obviously is gonna. There's so many factors. It's not just the economy, man. Like, so you got Panini and Fanatics, right? That whole deal, and I don't know the details. If I did, like, I would share them, but who knows how that's gonna go? Who knows how much they're gonna produce? Who knows what the print run is gonna be? So. And there's like cards from 22 months ago that people are getting back. And if it were my cards, I would, and they weren't worth even great. I'd just be offloading, right? Like you never know what somebody's in on a card. And for me, like when I'm making sales, a lot of the time I like to leave a little bit of meat on the bone. So if I'm like, I'm not trying to go crazy unless it's something that like. For instance, my Jordan pull out of 20. Like it would have to be a crazy offer, and even then, I'd be like, shit. If they bid, I'd be. So I think some things are gonna really hold their value a lot. I think other things, just like everything else, right? Like I don't think cards are immune to the state of our economy. You know, and it
One
also,
thing I always go with is that if it's a card that you really want that's rare, we all have to pay for the card. You got to pay for it. So if let's say if you and Alex, you and I were, like, I'm asking you, I want to buy a card from you, and it's a rare card. It's out of 10. It's gold. It's out of 20. It's on card auto. It's top 5 PSA 10. I'm gonna probably have to pay for that card.
I think so.
My negotiation would be, once I have a relationship with someone, and if the card is rare, I don't have any problems paying for the card. And if we both know kind of what the comps are or what some comparable sold as, it's probably a quicker negotiation. If I have a card that is maybe a PC something or something on that level, maybe less rare, there may be more of a negotiation for me on that card as far as price.
Oh, yeah, I mean, I think there's certain things they're not going to take a hit whatsoever.
No, I don't think so. Not at all.
Because the guy who spends $500,000, let's just say 100,000 on a card out of 20 or out of 10 or out of 5, like chances are he's not going to be in a position where he needs to move that. And if he bought it for that, like chances are he probably wants to hang on to it, like long term. Like for the flipping game, I know there's some big purchases for flipping, but a lot of those cards I feel like end up to the appropriate home, right? And they're willing to pay that price. So I think variations will be a big topic of discussion, like product, what type of product. I think there's going to be like those cornerstone go-to products, like for instance, Prism. Like I think that will obviously be one people go to. I think the Contender's Optic is kind of one of those staple cards, like National Treasures. That's another one. I think Cyan Flawless, I think, is up there as well. Let's see.
What about Opulence? What do you think of Opulence?
Opulence? I'm not really too familiar with Opulence.
I'm not a lot either. I've looked at certain cards to comp them, but I haven't really held a lot of Opulence in my hand and had a lot of conversations about it.
Me neither. I don't come across much Opulence.
Neither.
I was almost gonna buy an Opulence card. It was an on card. I think it was a booklet, Opulence, and it was a little bit too steep for me, not knowing that product. And like Eminence is another example. Like I don't know. I think it's called Eminence, right? Eminence.
Yep.
Yeah. It's just a product I don't know very much, but I've seen some of those Eminence cards. I've seen like a Stockton and Malone. It was a dual auto, on card auto, a Stockton Malone out of 10 or something like that. I think it sold for like, I want to say like 10 grand. And I don't know. Have you ever been to Utah, FD?
Yeah, I've been to Utah once, Park City. I went to a reggae spot in the middle of Park City.
When was this?
Blew my mind, bro. This was
when was this?
2011.
A reggae, and so it was like a festival.
Yeah. You know that main street in Park City? Have you been to Park City?
I've never been. I've only been to Utah and been to a game.
Okay, so it's like a main street in Park City. I don't know the name of it. Somebody else here may know. And on that street, there was a reggae place, man. I mean, you felt like you stepped in the middle of Jamaica.
No.
And my mom was gone for 30 minutes. I had to step to the side and just take all this in. I couldn't believe it. And then we started dancing.
Well, I'll tell you what. When I went to the game, I probably had the same feeling you did. I've never been to any game like that at any sport. I had to take a step back. I remember at one point getting this like just eerie feeling, and Utah is a different crowd, different atmosphere to play in. And I never understood when the players would talk about it. Like when I hear Russ talk about it a little bit. Russ kind of, he has his opinion about a lot of places, but
A lot of places.
But if you ask a lot of these players about Utah, fans are wild, man. Fan base is wild. The energy is just different.
Utah.
Yeah. I actually suggest everybody do it one time in their life if they get a chance. Go to a Utah game.
Yeah. That'd be interesting. They haven't put that on.
Okay. Yeah, maybe we'll go together at the.
Yeah, I'd like to. That'd be cool to me.
Honestly, it would. It's something. Can't even explain it. It's different. Those fans are die hard for sure. Makes you want to invest in some Stockton and Malone, man.
I don't know why Stockton and Malone don't give more love in the hobby.
Well, yeah, you do.
Or pick and roll. You can't pick and roll your way to greatness. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, you can 100%. You can. I mean,
Malone now is like you watch interviews with this guy. He's very very interesting.
Is he?
Yeah, it's almost like he's taking on a whole different persona to me. It's not even like when you talk to the Karl Malone that was getting destroyed by Chicago Bulls. It's like
no more mailman talk. I'll tell you what, that commercial. Anyways, to answer your question, they never won a championship, dude.
Oh yeah, but I can see that.
If they did, I think it'd be a different story. I mean, if you're a real big,
I guess if they win a championship and you don't see him anymore, really, like Charles Barkley, you still see running around talking about something, but you don't see Stockton anymore.
No, but Chuck is the anomaly, bro.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's my favorite show on TV, by the way.
Oh, I can't wait, man. I watch games. I watch the after show. What they have going on is a special. They've been running that for over 20-some years. It's special.
Yeah, that's definitely.
Ernie jumps in there. He's not intimidated. I mean, he'll challenge Chuck about something about the game of basketball.
Oh yeah, no. If you, I remember there's this one segment about Ernie's like, they're like, don't mess with Ernie, dude. Whatever you do, don't set Ernie off. You don't want to do that. And there was conviction in their voice when they said they were dead to Doug. Don't mess with Ernie. And it's just the show is just so perfectly molded, right? Like, and I'm sure there's a little bit of luck in that, right? There's got to be, because even if you find guys with big personalities, put them on, it doesn't mean they're gonna mesh. But
no,
these guys, Ernie's like the voice of reason, right? And then you got Kenny, he's like a little bit a little more conservative. And then you gotta separate the goofballs, right? That just, I feel like this is how they would act at a dinner table. Like this is the raw personality of these two individuals.
Oh yeah. So Art says here, I've cut back on expenses a little, talking about the recession or leading to a change in the economy and the hobby. I'm more concerned with life necessities like food, gas, prices, etc. I can completely understand your point.
Mm-hmm.
Completely understand. Sylvester Boston says, who do you think is the MVP in baseball at this time? Aaron Judge having a monster year, and the Yankees are first team to win 40 games. Aaron Judge is doing something that's crazy. I saw something the other day about what he's projected to hit, 66 home runs, and some other wild numbers. Baseball is such a long season to me. Yankees are playing well. Aaron Judge is playing well, but we're sitting here on June 12th. So to answer your question, I don't know who. Right now, Judge is in that seat, but will he stay there?
Yeah, baseball.
Don't forget, Garrett Cole is not looking impressive, and so a lot of this stuff's going to come down more to pitching than anything else. I always go back to the Seattle Mariners that won 120 something games, got bounced in the playoffs. So I don't know.
Baseball is a crazy sport, man. I don't think I could have handled playing baseball on a large scale like that. It's just they're like take. I know you're probably not a Padre fan, but Machado is playing really good. But like Cronenworth, for instance, you know Jake Cronenworth,
Yeah, a little bit.
He's the absolute stud, and just watch him from last year to this year, he's in just a total slump. And I think he was 26 when he got called up. Like, it took him that long to get consistency in his career enough to where they're going to call him up like that. Like, it's just, you don't get many opportunities throughout the course of a baseball game. Like, you don't take a bad shot, an air ball, and then shove it. Like, you got to have a lot of elasticity and mentally, and chances are, right, if you're gonna not do well most of the time, right? Like if you do strike out 7 out of, and you get 3 out of 10 at bats, you get a hit. Like, you're in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, you're legendary.
Yeah, you're legendary.
You shoot 30% in the NBA.
Right.
You be telling stories about who you played against. That's about it.
What about you, Epty? Who are you high on right now?
In baseball?
Sports cards wise, all across the board. All sports.
Well, I always stay with Curry. I'm trying to get more Klay Thompson in my collection. I watch the pool market. I haven't bought anything significant with pool. I watch his market. I'm probably waiting on some prices to drop, and then I'll probably pick up more pool, because I think that he's going to be a very special player. And it has to do with his ability, but also who he's around every day, who he's in practice shooting half-court shots against almost every practice. My prospect person is like James Wiseman. I think Wiseman.
That was gonna be my question. Like, how do you feel about him right now? And do you think it's a good time to pull the trigger on some Wiseman cards?
Oh yeah, I'm consistently picking up Wiseman stuff. I probably don't even talk about this in episodes. But I'm consistently looking at Wiseman and picking up Wiseman. And that'd probably always be like that. I just think that guy's special. I've seen some stuff just in a little bit of time from him that I felt like I haven't seen in 20-some years, man. Just in a little bit of a sample. His game is 3 games at Memphis, but more about what he was doing with Golden State before he got hurt.
What was the biggest factor in his game that made you feel that way?
I don't see a weakness as a big man. He's like KG, David Robinson, mixed together. Like, he can shoot the 3, and he was shooting at a nice clip. His percentage was nice. He can post you up. He can run the court in that system. Like, you have to be a certain kind of center. You got to be JaVale McGee. You got to be a tall, leaner guy that's in shape consistently to run with these guys. He can do that. He has a mid-range shot. And he can play defense. He was swatting. He was blocking some shots before he got hurt.
I haven't seen him play enough. And now I'm very interested in watching him play. The other guy I'm interested in watching play is Kuminga.
Oh, he's going to be nice, man. I think
this guy,
very nice.
I mean, I wonder what the weakness is from a coach's standpoint at this point in the season, or just in general, because there's a reason why he's not out there. I just wonder what it is, because athletically he seems top notch.
What I've noticed when I watch him right now, he's 19 years old, right? Yeah. He has some lapses in defense. And I know Kerr is probably on that same thing Phil Jackson was on, and some other legendary coaches. If you're lapsing on defense, like, you can't stay on the court. You got to come off the court. Offensively, I think he's stronger than he is on the defensive side. But I think with his length and how he moves, defense will come. It's really about mindset.
Yeah, it's about a lot of will involved in defense. If you're athletic, then chances are you have the potential to be a good defender. laterally
you
move. Like,
got to think Moody's
instinct.
19, Kuminga's 19, Wiseman just turned 21 in March.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we see some of these guys break out and go be superstars somewhere else at some point.
I think at some point that may have to happen
Yeah.
because I don't think they can pay all these people.
Yeah, I mean, like the Lakers, I wouldn't call really. I don't consider Kuzma a superstar at all. I don't consider Clarkson a superstar really. But Randall, I consider him borderline superstar. They're all like good players, you know, and I remember when they were all playing on the same team.
I think the best player out of all that group long term is going to be Ingram.
Yeah, I didn't even mention Ingram. Like that, he's a full blown superstar.
He can play. He can play.
He can,
and he has an attitude about himself. Like you're not gonna. And what really showed me that was the Chris Paul fight.
Yes,
he wasn't taking any of that off.
Oh no,
none of it.
Oh, he wanted all the smoke.
All of it. He wanted all of it.
Did he throw a punch? He threw a punch at
Chris
Paul.
Yeah,
at Chris Paul.
I think it was at Chris Paul. He didn't connect.
No, he didn't connect. But I remember him. I remember the punch being thrown in slow mo.
But
like one of those overhand.
Yeah, over shoulder. But then Rondo went on and cleaned that up for him.
Rondo, man. Have you seen Rondo play? Like, have you ever gone to a game and actually, if you're in the first 10 rows, you can hear him?
Well, I believe that. He seems like a talker kind of reminds me in some ways of Vernon Maxwell. Like just talking up some stuff and always got a problem with everybody.
Oh yeah, it's a huge chip on his shoulder, right?
Yeah.
But he's a floor general for sure. I mean, I don't want to compare him to Beverly, but he's definitely the general on the floor. There's only a handful of players that I can really think that are like that too.
Sure. You know? The NBA has changed like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think those are the people I kind of look at. You know, in football, we're talking about quarterbacks. It's really about quarterbacks. Yeah. You may have your own personal PC person, receiver, defensive player, running back, but what's really controlling the car market is quarterbacks.
100%.
I
hope that changes too, to be honest with you.
I don't know.
I don't know if it will either because the lifespan is so.
Think about how many running backs Brady's played with.
Even receivers.
Yeah, even receivers, man.
What, 22 years? 21 years or 20? Like 22 years. Yeah. 22nd season.
Mm-hmm.
Drafted in 2000. Man, he's seen literally the game change like significantly. Like, let's see, who the Ray Lewis days, right? That's my all-time favorite player, by the way, Ray Lewis.
I can see.
Oh yeah, Ed Reed's probably a close second. I was all about the Ravens, and I was a Charger fan.
Well, they have some great people. These are legendary people. Ed Reed, I don't know if we'll ever see another safety like Ed Reed.
No.
Will you play it like a linebacker? I don't know.
Yeah. Sean Taylor, another one of my favorites. I'm more of a defensive guy, so that's why when I watch football games, I like to watch the defense.
Sean Taylor was special, man.
Yeah. I remember I watched I think there was a documentary, or maybe it was a 30 for 30.
30 for 30.
I was crying like a baby, dude.
That's a sad story.
I was crying like a baby.
Sad story.
Very sad story.
Not just because of a football player, just what happened.
No,
you can play a game, but for your life to end like this. Sylvester Boston says Wiggins and Wiseman next to each other the next few years. It's scary if Wiseman can play like people expect. I hope that Wiggins is around. I hope they can pay this guy.
What's the contract look like for Wiggins? You know?
I do not know. But he's going to be asking for some. Let me see here. See if there's any information.
And then Draymond, right?
I think it's up this year. I think his contract is up.
Huh.
How long has he been with Golden State now?
I think 3 years. Oh, was it? 3 years, right?
He signed with Golden State in 2020. Yep. Yeah, I think his contract is up this year.
So he signed a 3-year deal?
I think so.
I wonder what how much was that contract worth?
$31.58 million.
Yeah, that's a steal for his workload right now.
That's right.
But that's what he was worth at that time, right? Like he's gonna have a big argument. I didn't realize he was 27 either. Like,
yeah.
Let me ask you this: like, so a player like him at 27, do you think he still has enough time to turn around and have a Hall of Fame career?
I think he does. Yeah, I think so. He's got to go for it though, but I think he does.
Yeah.
I don't think making the NBA Hall of Fame. I think Wiggins is on track for that right now.
I don't know what his career stat line looks like.
Let me look up his stats. Let's get into so.
If I had to guess, though, I would guess like 13, 14.
Oh, no. Not Wiggins. Wiggins is averaging for his career 19.3. 4 rebounds and 2 assists. This year, he's averaging 17.2.
And how many rebounds?
He's averaging 4.5 this year and 2.2 assists. He's almost at his career average on rebounds and assists. He's 2 points down on scoring.
I wonder what his plus minus is. I bet it's stupid. It's got to be.
Yeah, probably. I'm pretty sure it is. I'm looking at how many total points has he scored in his career.
Somebody needs to just hit him with the adrenaline shot, man. Like, can we get some emotion out of you, dude? You know?
Some people just, but some people.
I know that. But I wonder what's going on. I never even heard a press conference from him.
Oh, I have. Really, this playoff run. That's it. I watch after the games. I watch almost everybody on the team. I even watch Boston. See what they're talking about. And Wiggins is a very answer your question guy. Just going to
Marshawn Lynch. Marshawn Lynch answer.
Hey, just answer your question, moving on. Answer your question, moving on. Says the right things. Doesn't say anything to be in the headline, but he's not. Yeah. It's almost like he could not be there. He'd be okay with that. I said something the other day. I had a guest on, and he was saying that maybe Wiggins wants to go lead a team somewhere. And I was like, no, I think his personality, what I'm reading, is that he wants someone to talk to Poole, Clay, Draymond, Steph, Steve Kerr, and then come holler at me. Let me let you just go spend some time with him first. Yeah. And then I'll be right here.
I wonder how that conversation went. Because he seemed like he was receptive to being coached, right? Like,
oh yeah,
the clip that you posted.
Yeah,
he could have easily been like, well, like stop. But I think it seems like he's receptive to that. So that's a huge, and he's obviously accepted a responsibility of taking this role, which is probably not what he envisioned coming into the league. And he showed a lot of grit. I really like Wiggins. I liked Wiggins. I remember when they first signed Wiggins, thinking like this was going to be just a huge, impactful player for that team, right? I was thinking like, really, again, they're getting another like superstar, but I don't know. It's been a good career, right? It's been a good, not a great one. It's been a good career. Obviously, the probably doesn't help when you're on the Timberwolves, but.
Well, let me jump into some of Smoothest is saying here. Smooth says Wiggins can go somewhere and get paid. He's already got chips. Wiggins doesn't have a championship.
No. Maybe he needs money. Chips.
Maybe. Oh, okay. I was like, maybe he's talking like a week from now, but nothing right now.
Yeah, job not finished, right?
Job not done. Russell Boston, if the Warriors win next year, they are going to be scary because you have Wiseman, who will be healthy, and Wiggins more confident. I'll let you know, like Wiseman is working out with the team, shooting shots. He was in the G League before the end of the season, before they shut him down. He's running with no limp. Doesn't seem to have any kind of physical issues. Then you have another year of Poole, Kuminga, Moody with the big three. Yeah, so I think this is the beginning of something. Okay, Wiggins' contract is up in 2023. The big three is signed. Poole is RFA in 2023. Wiseman signs in 2024. Plus, they are making crazy money in the Chase Center. GM said they want to keep the team together. Yeah, I don't see a lot of people.
Yeah, I don't know if that's going to be possible, right? Especially if they win a championship.
I wonder if you could start a like team A, team B. They got so much talent, man. Where you just Wiseman's the center on one, maybe Looney and Draymond are holding down on the other. You put Wiseman with Wiggins, and you just keep rotating people in until you just wear the other team out. Tell everybody, hey, you might score less points, but we're about to get this win, and have people sign up for that. Yeah, coach, I'm good with that. Let's get this win, and then just go out and destroy people.
I mean,
if that team matures correctly, you don't know what they could do.
I always wonder things like that too. Like, so let's say someone goes off with endorsement deals and all kinds of things like that, and they're paid up, right? Like to where the contract of the NBA is kind of like second fiddle, right? We're living in a time of like influencers and all this stuff, and even these college athletes getting paid, right? Like that's going to change. I mean, that's a whole nother topic, like changing the landscape of the game.
Yeah.
Like, would they be cool with taking a pay cut, or is it?
That's what I always want.
It's a principle based.
Because we see this in football. I mean, Brady's taking pay cuts all the time. He restructured his contract this year when he came back.
Yeah.
Make sure you guys on defense. So I mean, if that can happen in the NBA, I think players should be able to be in control of their careers, where they want to go, how long they want to be there, who they want to play with. Alex, if you and I would say we want to run the court together, why can't we do that? Why can't I take $2 million and throw it at you, or whatever the amount is, and we have fun together, right? Yeah. Shoot three, I rebound, kick it out to maybe bring another person, a Chris Bosh like, right? You ever hear that conversation? LeBron, Dwayne Wade did a television program one time. I think it was on ESPN, but it was an interview. And he says that him and LeBron had a conversation about who's going to be the third person. And they came to Derrick Rose. And LeBron said, I think he wants to be the man too much. He couldn't play with us. So they went to
Derrick Rose. I don't think Derrick Rose wanted all that flashiness.
Mm-hmm. But what I
Derrick
think
Rose super low key.
Yeah, low key guy. But I think when LeBron says that, he's thinking about who wants to score the basketball. Because you got to think Chris Bosh was averaging like 25 or 24 points a game. Came to Miami. What was he, 15, 16?
I know he was number 3, right?
Yeah, he dropped. So I think he was referring to. It was just interesting that a conversation took place. Because I was always wondering, how did they decide on Chris Bosh? And Wade talked about when they called Chris Bosh up and told him, he was shocked. I would have been shocked. I was shocked. I was shocked in my house listening to, man, they chose Chris Bosh.
Yeah, I'll never forget. Yeah.
People gave
that brings us back. That brings us back to the LeBron thing, FD. So
what's up?
What's up, dude? What's going on? What do you got? Is this you don't consider LeBron top 10? I'm pretty sure. No,
I don't consider LeBron top 10. I got LeBron number 11. Let me read some names off to you, Alex. Let's have this conversation, bro.
Oh shit!
No, I'm serious. I'm not saying this for shock value. I'm not saying this for shock value.
No, it's okay.
Hold on. Let me name some names off, and you tell me who's LeBron. Who would you rank LeBron better?
I'll tell you what I think about them. Because
now I take into account old school players. Like I'm not a person that's like, well, before 1968, I'm not. I take all that into account.
Okay,
So I got
Mike
Jordan. Mike Jordan number 1.
Mhm.
Oscar Robertson at 2. Magic Johnson at 3. Kareem at 4. Kobe at 5. Bill Russell at 6. Hakeem Olajuwon at 7. Tim Duncan at 8. Steph Curry at 9. Will Chamberlain at 10. Then LeBron.
That's tough.
To me, Steph Curry kicks Larry Bird out of the top 10.
Yeah. So this is like how you would base drafting a team on. Like if you had your first pick would be in that order.
Well,
I don't mean like how are we basing it?
Based upon skills, who could hit a shot from anywhere on the court, who takes on the load when it's time to take.
Where's Shaq? Where's Shaq on that list?
I have Shaquille O'Neal at 12. So I got LeBron at 11, Shaq at 12.
So you take Kareem over. Then I know you take Kareem over Shaq.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Day in, day out, getting after it. Never a question of being in shape, anything like that. I'm not talking about just dominating in the game, because then you're talking about dominance and imposing your physical will. Then I will rank Shaq higher. But I don't rank Shaq higher than Will Chamberlain.
Where do you have Dirk on that list? Or is he on that list?
I have him at 25.
25.
Mm-hmm.
I like the fact you have a lot of big men. That's probably the most big man than I've ever heard on anybody's list.
Yeah, I heard that before. I have Giannis at 21. We're talking about foreign-born players. Giannis at 21. Dirk at 25.
That's crazy. The fact Giannis could be 21 on any list is crazy. Right?
Well, I think he's about to be. When Giannis finishes, he's going to be a top 10 player.
What guards are on that list? Name the guards on that list again.
Mike Jordan, Oscar Robertson. I consider him a guard, point guard. Magic Johnson, Kobe, Steph Curry, Jerry Russell, small forward. Allen Iverson at 20.
AI's got to be up there for me.
John Stockton at 24. And Dwayne Wade at 29.
I don't hate the list. I can't speak on Oscar Robinson and I really can't speak on Kareem the way that I'd like to. I have to really go back and it wouldn't be highlights, right? For me, it wouldn't just only be highlights. Back then, they didn't have analytical, YouTube, for instance.
That's not even on Big O. That's not a lot of film on that.
No film on that,
but not as much as other players.
Yeah, I can't really speak on. And Jerry West, I don't really know Jerry West's game, to be honest. A lot of those guys. But yeah, I agree with number 1. That's for sure.
Well, a lot of this goes back to this comment right here, and this is independent. But these are things that go through my mind, right? Let's find this comment. Ray Allen saved LeBron.
Yeah.
Ray Allen, that one shot changed the scope of NBA history forever. Tim Duncan will have more. Kawhi Leonard will have more. Tony Parker, Ginobili will have more. LeBron will have one less. Dwayne Wade will have one less. Chris Bosh will have one less. That was a huge shot in NBA history, man.
Yeah, that's got to be top.
And LeBron really doesn't want to take that shot.
I think he knows he's probably not the best equipped to take that shot. Right?
And I think that's what goes into when I think top 10, or definitely top 5. These guys, they want to take that shot. They want that ball. They're calling for the ball. They're not dishing out, hey, Alex, win this series. No, bro. They're not doing that.
Oh, man. I don't know. I can't agree. I can't. I'm sure so many people have a lot more shit to fire back with, but I'd have to sit down and think about that list. I can't just I can only tell you my number 1, really, which is MJ.
Mm-hmm. I took my time on this.
No, you'd have to spend some time on that.
Take some time.
And you have to have I'm sure you have, and you're very methodical. You have reasoning behind. Like you're not gonna just throw some shit out there and not have you're gonna be ready for that argument. But LeBron, I don't know, man. I don't know. Cause
let me ask you this question because you're the first one. Let's say I had him at 10 in 9/11. Are people swallowing that better? There's only one people. Will people?
No, no. People will still feel the same. You might as well have them at 20. You might as well have them at 100 at this point, right? You don't even have them within the top 10, so you're gonna ruffle a lot of feathers with that.
Yeah. I've had conversations. There are people that's like,
I don't get them. I mean, it's a personal opinion.
But I always tell people too. Everybody has their own list. Now I've talked to people who have LeBron at 3. I have LeBron at 2. I just don't see that. I don't see it, but I respect it. I can't see it, bro. I can't see it.
It's
actually Ray Allen, and you want that thing. You want top 3, and you jumping around from team to team to try to catch Mike.
Well, that's part of his greatness, man. Knowing when he's a pass. This guy's I would say he's probably a passer before a scorer. As crazy as that sounds,
he kind of is.
His IQ on the court is just crazy.
That's what I question. He said in press conferences and broke down 4 or 5 minutes of film just off top of his dome. So that you can't question that. I'm not questioning. LeBron knows basketball. I'm not questioning, unless he wants to go get Westbrook as his point guard. But other than that, he knows basketball.
Yeah, how are we gonna fix that in LA, my man?
Well, I don't think you fix it. I think Ham is saying what people can digest. He said that this is good. He said that he's going to turn Westbrook back into that dog he was on defense. Westbrook was never a dog on defense, and Ham knows that. He's putting that LA spin on the coaching job. That just lets me know that he's going to say certain things in public and probably do certain things someplace else. That's his coaching style. Nothing wrong with that. That might be better what some people can, as far as sports fans or viewers can really take. Too much truth sometimes. It's too much for people to really take. They're going to probably ask Westbrook to come off the bench at times because he kept using the word patience. I told him that we're going to have to be patient, and it's going to take a lot of patience. They're probably going to ask him to come off the bench, and they're going to ask him to use that energy that he has on the court to play defense on someone. But they'll all find out that that's really not Westbrook.
I hate to say it, but it's not.
Definitely not.
Which is crazy to me because this is one of the most athletic dudes that I've ever seen play.
Oh, it could
if
be.
If not the most athletic player that I think I've ever seen play.
I think it could be him if he wanted it to be.
His defense is not his forte.
Westbrook wants to score that rock, man. He doesn't want to do all. And
then
the year he averaged triple-double, he wasn't playing defense. He was chilling.
Yeah, I have my thoughts on all that, but it is what it is. I do. It reminds me of so. Here's another point that I make, and I always wonder this with athletes, and they start getting to that age where their abilities start to diminish a little bit, and they gotta go back to the drawing board and figure out who they are, right? Not only as basketball players, but as people and. Really, so we see guys that age gracefully, and their game will change. Mm-hmm. You'll see them develop that mid range when they didn't need to. I think LeBron's kind of a perfect example. He doesn't just drive; it's changed.
Yeah, he's evolved. Yep.
And I don't know. I don't know if Westbrook. I don't know if he can adapt into what he needs to kind of adapt to because he relied so heavily on that explosiveness. And these are the same things that I see kind of with Ja at some point. Mm-hmm. Is so how long can that be? How long can you sustain that type of play?
You're not going to be like that at 33, 34.
No.
Doing that.
And even if you do it through your 20s, you're going to run an injury at some point. He's reckless. He's a contortionist when he's in the air. I'm watching some of this
So let's say your body becomes less flexible. Then what happens? You're gonna get hurt.
You're gonna get hurt. 100%.
And with age comes less flexibility. But let me read something to you, something I found the other day that I think was interesting. I want to see if you can tell me who was this player. Hold on one second here. Great quote. Great quote. I haven't shot a basketball since probably April 15th. Who do you think that meant? It's an LA Laker.
Anthony Davis.
There you go. Just think about that. I saw him the other day. Came to my mind, right? I saw him the other day in the club kicking it. First of all, if I'm in the club, bro.
Wait, is this a real story?
Yeah, it's a real story. He was in the
real
club.
story.
Yeah, he was in the club the other day kicking it. So the first thing that came to my mind is, okay, first, why are we recording this? Second, what's the last time this dude's worked out and shot a basketball? That was the second thing that came to my mind. Then I see.
Did he look out of shape, or this is just?
No, it's just like, okay, where are your priorities at, bro? Yeah. Where your passion? Kobe Bryant told a story one time. He was describing when he first started playing with Dwight Howard. He said he's sitting. Who told this story was Jalen Rose. Kobe's sitting with Jalen Rose. Phone rings. Kobe picks up. It's Dwight Howard on the other end. So Jalen was just talking to Kobe, and now he's listening to the conversation. And first thing Dwight Howard asked Kobe was, "So what's the nightlife like in LA? What's up with the clubs and what's up with the like the movie stars and stuff? Like, you get a chance to rub shoulders with them, and what's all that?" Kobe's on the phone, and he looks at Jalen. Then he finishes the conversation. And then he hangs up and looks at Jason and said, "Can you believe this MF just asked me about club life?"
Yeah.
And Jalen said he knew right then and there, Kobe Bryant and Dwight Howard will not work.
No. I don't know. I've never been a Dwight fan, man. I don't know. It's too much playfulness for me. And it's like, I know the game has changed, and it's like
he's like 8 or 9 years old all the time.
Yeah.
I remember when he went to Houston, right? And he had his press conference saying he's coming, like, announcing him as on the team. Hakeem Olajuwon came out. Ralph Sampson came out. And some other players came out from their history. And I thought to myself, I'm sitting at home watching this, like, these guys are wasting their time. They think Dwight Howard is about to be the next big man in the Houston Rockets uniform? And they get
one big
same thing. Go back to Anthony Davis. Like, what are we doing right now? You were hurt most of the season. You came back out of shape. You're in the first thing I see you in the off season. You're in the club. I don't know. Then you make a statement, which you probably should have kept to yourself. I haven't shot at basketball.
Yeah. How did that even become a public statement? Where's the source from, too? I gotta ask that. Do we have that?
I think this is. Hold on. It's from Hoops Nation.
Hoops Nation. I don't know. Here's my thing. Like, I give these guys the benefit of the doubt. This is a different time, right? In history, this is you can make a lot of money. It's not all based upon performance. Like, we see Anthony Davis. He's in these chip commercials. I think he's Mountain Dew. I don't know. He's in a bunch of different. He had a bunch of endorsement deals. I don't know if he has a shoe. I don't think he has a shoe deal. He wears Kobe's, but like, for him being the young man that he is, it's like, what? Like, how much is their back against the wall? As opposed to like the 90s or, especially the 80s. Like, maybe one or two guys have endorsements, but really, really your livelihood depends on your productivity on the basketball court. And it's not really their fault, right, for being in this unique position, unique time in history. it's got to be real hard to focus. It's already hard enough to focus as it is, just being a normal person. Then you get put on this grand stage, and you've been the best your entire life. And not only that, you get affirmation of being the best through social media, through people in your ear all the time, and to be a young man, and to be saying like that's a lot. It's a lot just
There's a
to
lot.
have those and not have that kind of bankroll, that type of
Mhm.
those type of resources, and then to be on the grand stage like that. So I know they have a lot of programs in place that help these guys, like more so than ever before. I want to say I can't confirm that, but I hear about it in the
Mhm.
NFL too.
I've
Like,
heard that too. Yep.
I
Time
think
and
they have
money
the most resources.
and a whole bunch of stuff. How you pick your friends, who you're around,
Yeah,
bunch of stuff. Yep.
and I'm a big I'm very grateful that they have that because we see time and time again how many sad situations like
Mhm.
what's his name from the Raiders,
Oh, the wide receiver.
yeah, Henry Ruggs,
Yeah.
right? It's just a horrible situation, like all around. It's a horrible situation, and I'm trying to think of like how. For me, I was like, how did he get in that position, right? And it's a sensitive subject, right?
I
Like,
heard
there's
about it.
no excuse for it, like
When I
no
heard about it
excuse
that
for it at
morning,
all. Yeah,
I just thought, I hope this guy know his whole life has just changed.
yeah. Not only his life, right? Like, there's many lives that change from it.
No, but I'm talking about like not just talking about playing football. You have on your mental that people aren't here anymore because you made a certain kind of decision. That's a lot, man. That's I just hope that he and families can move on because that's it's counseling, it's conversations, it's I don't know what his faith is like. I don't know anything, but
Yeah,
that is not easy. I remember when I lived in St. Louis, there was a defensive end, I can't remember his name, for the Rams who ran into a family similar to Ruggs, had left, I think, a club, bar, something. Uh, I just don't. It's rough.
yeah.
And whenever I talk about this stuff, like the sport itself and what this person's career is, that didn't even come to my mind.
No, and it never will. Like, it never will be the topic of discussion
No,
ever.
no.
Same with Aaron Hernandez. Like, no one's ever going to think about anything he did on the field, ever.
I remember the first time I watched him play football, man, really, I thought, man, this dude's about to be a Hall of Fame tight end. This dude was, you talking about Gronk. Hernandez was different, man. He was different.
Mm-hmm.
Then you, like, I watched a documentary on his life, and it's,
Yeah, I do too.
man, that's something else.
It was wild. That was a wild documentary, right? Like, I don't know. I'm very over analytical, and I'm always trying to think of like just how things could get to that point, right? For people, like, especially when you're in this position to where you've literally worked, put everything you've had into what you've accomplished, and
Mhm.
how that doesn't come and factor into certain decision making, right?
Yeah.
Like, literally, like these guys. I don't care how good you are. You at some point have to have the discipline and work ethic to make it to the next level. Like, you can't just rely on your ability.
Hmm.
So to not have that, you know, that appreciation, I don't even know what you want to call it. I don't lack of focus, even for a minute. Right? It's just, I don't know. I don't know how you get in that situation, man. It's like,
Mhm.
it's sad all the way around, right? Like, for everybody.
I don't know. I always tell people about, I'm just happy I had the parents I had. I'm happy I think one of the biggest lotteries in the world is who your parents, because you don't know. You don't have any control over that. You don't know if those people are going to teach you, but they're not going to teach you. And I'm not saying all this is parenting. I'm just telling you
Yeah.
about me. I'm just happy that I got a young man and a young lady to spend some time with me, talk to me, keep me out of stuff. I tell people all the time I'm from the south side of Chicago, the wild wilds of Chicago.
Oh yeah.
Right. But
Yeah.
I grew up in my parents' house. Right. There were a bunch of stuff. My parents were strict, man. Like I see kids walking down the street and all that. Like I've never done that a day in my life. Just out walking down the street or just bouncing a basketball with no hoop in sight. That just wasn't part of the program. And my father was from the South and military, right? So every minute is accounted for. Idle time. My grandmother used to talk about idle time. We didn't have idle time. So you went to school, you came home. When you hit the door, you had to get a snack. I tell people that here in my house right now, that blows their mind. You had to get a snack, and you did homework from 2:45, 3 o'clock to 6:30. That was my entire upbringing.
Jeez.
There was no telephone call. Alex, if someone called the house, I wasn't allowed to pick up the phone. Somebody else would pick up the phone and tell me if I'm getting on the phone or not. These are the days that we didn't have cell phones, so that was out of the picture. There was only one way to connect with me. Average person now has 5 or 6 email accounts. Back then, you had 0. So unless you call that number at the house and get me, but every call was screened. Every kid that I had a relationship with, I called a friend my parents knew, or they knew their parents. They would have conversations with their parents. If I left, Alex, if you and I were boys, right, growing up, and I left to ride my bike to your house, I had to get to your house, go in, make a telephone call from your house to let my parents know where am I at. And then that was they knew 12 to 15 minutes to get to Alex's house. So if I'm gone 30 minutes, 40 minutes, and I haven't talked to anybody, we got problems. Somebody's gonna have a conversation with me. Now you taking advantage of a certain kind of privilege. So when I went to college, man, you playing ball. It wasn't hard for me to make a decision on where I'm gonna spend my time, who am I gonna be around, who am I not, when I need to study. So when I got to college freshman year, right, at 7:00 p.m. on the dot.
0700, right?
0700, bro. My dorm room door closed, and I locked the door. I put a note outside. If someone came to knock on that door at 7:30, 7:15, 7:01, I was studying, man. I didn't stop what I was doing to say, hey, what's up? I left Chicago, went somewhere for an education, man. I was focused on that. And then, you playing ball, man. Like, every day that you're studying, you're like dead tired. And on my freshman year of college, we had 23 days in a row of over 100 degrees. And we're in camp, right?
Hold on. Where'd you go to school again?
I went to school in Missouri. Missouri.
Oh, Missouri.
So we had, and our coach didn't care about heat. Our first coach didn't care.
Back in the day, right?
Run you at 6 o'clock at night when the sun went down. First coach will run you like there was no heat, temperature, or any kind of anything. We would just make sure the coaches, the training staff got you more water, but you were running. So every night I'm doing homework. I'm like fading, man. Like,
oh yeah.
And it's the same thing when you start traveling and moving around. I think learned at an early age on how to manage time. That's what I was talking about earlier. How to manage my time, and how my parents were big on how do you make decisions. Because one day they would tell us, my brother and I, we're not going to be sitting there to say, no, you shouldn't do that, or you should do that, or no, you shouldn't be around that person, or no, you shouldn't do this. And then I hope everybody out there knows, and I'll say this: when you go to school, there are a lot of things that are around you that are not good for you, not good for anybody. There's a lot of alcohol. There's a lot of drugs. There's a lot of stuff all around you all the time. You have to make the decision as the athlete. I think a lot of these athletes come out of school being around that, getting used to that. They go to the pros. They have way more funds and a lot of people around you suggesting stuff. Where I went to school, you had a few people suggesting things. You could jump into that boat if you wanted to, or you could just walk away. And a lot of times I would be in situations with people where I would just decide I'm gonna go back to my dorm room, or I'm gonna go back to my apartment.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not even gonna
You were grounded. You were grounded with
ground.
who you were, right? Like your parents instilled that
Yep.
at an early age. Sounds like your dad was very, if I had to guess, right? Like very,
No nonsense, man.
no nonsense.
High expectations. Expected for me to go to school and be a student first, athlete second. Mom was on the same page. Both having conversations with us all the time about different things. Especially as you grow, your interests become very different than they were when you were younger. What are you still doing now? My father set me down before I went to college. I love him for this and much more. But he set me down. My father went to a junior college. Didn't go to a 4-year school. Had a bunch of family stuff going on, but he couldn't finish school. But some kind of way he had the foresight where he could talk to me about what you're going to see at a 4-year school. What are the things that's going to come to you as a student athlete outside of the classroom and what you need to avoid? He had that conversation with me one night, broke a lot of stuff down. You're going to see this. You're going to see this. You're going to see this. And Alex, I went to school and I'm telling you, man, it was like, how did he know that?
Oh yeah, he's literally it's like a script that he wrote that you're actually in the movie in now.
How do you know this is gonna happen? How do you know that person's gonna say this in this conversation? And it just helped me, prepared me for really not getting involved in the nonsense, man.
Oh, 100%. Your sword was sharp. You walked into it with your armor on, and so here's a question I got: is how much of that has carried over into you being a parent now?
Oh, a lot. A lot. I start with like junior 6. I have conversations with him about stuff.
Yeah.
He's talking about it, thinking about. We think similarly on some things. So I can kind of guess sometimes by the expression on his face what he's thinking about. And then he'll look at me and give me a smirk as if he doesn't know. I'll tell him all the time, some of the stuff you're doing, man, it comes from a place. I kind of I've been on that road. I've seen certain things, and it will continue. We'll continue to have conversations. And I had a relationship with my dad, and I still have one with my mom, where we could talk about anything, man. Anything under the sun. I mean, I remember calling him from different places I lived, and we have conversations about some real stuff. It wasn't like I need to keep anything from him. I would like for my kids to feel the same way. Right. There's no judgment. Let's have a conversation.
Right.
Because I think when people know that the conversations comes from love and I want to help you, then it's very different.
I agree. And like, I'm noticing, I think the older you get, the more you notice like how uncommon that really is.
Very.
It's not extremely common to have that type of a relationship with your parent, but that's how it is with my mom. It's kind of like not the sexier answer or whatever, but I feel like everyone has that bond with their mom. But there's never one time where I felt like uncomfortable talking about anything. Like even when I mess up or just whatever the case may be, even if it's some dorky ass shit, right, that I just want to talk about. Like we'll talk about it. And she'll be open minded enough to like listen and assess like what I'm saying. And I have to work on that like a lot sometimes. Like especially if it's something that's outside of my realm of understanding. I have my brain just has a hard time with it. Like for instance, Wiley, right? He likes to get into the tech of a lot of things, like the back end of our website being an example, spreadsheets, Google Doc, like stuff that like I just like fucking don't want to do. Like my brain doesn't want to go there because I just don't. It's just not my comfort zone, So I'm trying to work on this, and I still see it from my mom a lot. Just be more open minded to things that I don't understand, or that I don't even necessarily agree with. Right. So I think that's important. I think that's huge, man. Especially in the climate of the world right now, seeing all these crazy things.
It is huge. And what I try to do, Alex, is that if I feel that way about something, like with the channel, sometimes you have to. There's things you don't know. Like you got to do some research. I try to reserve research time. I try to reserve a certain block of time while I'm digging into learning something new. And it helps my mind. It helps my mind go from trying to be creative. Like if I'm trying to be creative about something, and then you ask me to dig into a microphone or the compatibility of something that you want to something else, or how do you download something or anything like that, I gotta block that into research time. And when I start digging into research time, I'm going all in on research.
That's the thing, man. It's like there's so many different things that you can get your hands on now. Like as opposed to back in the day, it's like I'm gonna go to the library, I'm gonna check out a book on quantum physics. Like, and that's what I'm choosing to focus my time. Now you can end up on quantum physics for the next 10 minutes. Like you can go to sports analytics for the next like 10 minutes. It's like you got to really compartmentalize this walk through life, and I think that's the one thing that I think everybody's gonna run into. Right? There's too much information we have access to.
Yes.
Like think about the course of this conversation.
Mm-hmm.
We've gone from sports cars to sports to wife
parenting,
to
all kinds of
parenting.
being a child.
I mean, but these things are important to me, and they're relevant to my life.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Parenting being one of them. If you're not people who aren't parents out there watching, right? Like probably can't relate so much to this, you know? Yeah, they're probably tuned out. But they'll circle back because this will still be on here in a few years from now and be, oh, shit. FD and Alex were talking about some crap.
Talking about upbringing and raising. That's what my grandma.
Oh, yeah.
Upbringing and raising tonight, huh?
Oh, yeah. It's fun, though. It's actually, it's like a chess game constantly with parenting and just like anything else you do, you put that investment in and you start to see the results. It's very gratifying.
Just like, I don't talk about this a lot, but, I met G. G was 7. It's special to see who he is right now. Even compared to when we first walked into the first show. His sister came home this weekend. She because of COVID, other things. We live in LA, but she lives in her own place. And so we went out to eat the other day with a person in the hobby. And she said, it kind of surprised me when G walked in and went right up to the hostess and told them how many was here, and he wouldn't have done that before. A little bit more assertive about certain things. I talk to him about this all the time. You meet somebody, old school principles, firm handshake, yes sir, no ma'am. Listen before, especially when older people, are talking. Listen some. You can jump in that conversation. But just listen to people. You might pick up something, learn something. It's cool to see who he is developing into. And I'm humbled to have any part of that. To be able to talk to him about stuff and raise a young person to become a young adult to then start moving on. Because these years are very important for him. Very. I mean, he can make a decision tomorrow, change the rest of his life. And when he was a child, when he was real young, it wasn't like that. You on that train that everybody has you on. You do this every day.
Right.
Now he got to start making some decisions for himself. As my father would say, as some older men in my family, you got to turn a young man into a man. It's like you got to turn a young lady into a grown woman. And that's when you start plucking that fruit, right? My father and I used to talk about this. Start plucking that fruit off the trees. Yeah.
Fruit of your seed, right?
That's right. So it's all
and
about.
That's the real investment in life. If I could sit everyone down and have a conversation with everyone, because we met through the hobby. I feel like the narrative of our conversation is mostly hobby and sports, right? But if I could sit everybody down and let them know, we're all trying to accomplish and do different things. We're all trying to get to a different, our own destination. But you gotta understand what the real wins are and what the kind of your subjective lens. What you believe is what you need to be doing, or you need to have this, accomplish this, do this, that, the other. Like you'll realize real quickly once you get it, once you get there to where you want to be, like, and everything you had to sacrifice. It's things like that. Like for you, I know I can tell by just talking to you. Like that was a huge accomplishment. Like a huge
one thing I
win.
learned in life. One thing I learned years ago. And I already kind of knew this, but it starts hitting home when you start moving around the country and living places by yourself. You may live somewhere that your parents never visited, stuff like that. You just doing your thing. You living your life.
Yeah, that's Chico. That's Chico for me.
Yeah, everybody. Most people come through that road where you start doing stuff that you tell your parents about or you tell your family about. Do you make decisions? This is something I had to realize. Do you make decisions and do things because that's what someone else expects for you to do, or is that what you want? Just that simple.
Yeah.
It could be the same thing in the hobby. Like, if I'm out, am I buying a certain car because that's what this person told me to buy? Or am I buying a certain car because I understand what I'm looking for here? Well, when I look at a table, man, I can look at a table real quick. It can have 100 cars on it. In a few seconds, I can understand which car I'm going to ask a question about. And I don't have to go through. I can just look and squeeze. There's some stuff there that's probably, and then if I ask the price and somebody tells me the price, oh, this is a great deal off top. Maybe let's check out the condition of the car or something like that. But I know why I want the car. If you ask me a question, I think more people can make decisions for themselves on what they actually like. Now, some work that can, you got to know what you want. How do you think? How you feel about yourself? All that stuff leads up to this. But then when you get to that point, it's like then the decisions are easier. Let me say easier.
It's constant. I mean, it's constant. Like educating yourself constantly, constant work to really be. And I see it, and like I've caught myself just doing countless amounts of different parallels, different this, different that, and how you when there's no comps, right? Let's say there's no comps on something. Like, how do you justify that price? How do you justify paying that price? Well, who's comparable at that time in their career? Like, who, like, were they as marketable? Like we've talked about before, there's so many different factors when investing your money in this hobby, which I think is the cool part of it.
I love that too.
That's why with that lower number, low pop stuff, when there's not much comparable stuff, or the last comp was like a year ago or 6 months ago, you're relying on, okay, how much knowledge do you really have? If it's equity that you're looking for in something,
Yes.
And then let's just say all your research was on point. You did everything you could do. You made the right play, and he tears his ACL or something. There's a little bit of risk factor in everything that we do.
Yeah.
But for me, I really like the so pool is a perfect. I keep on reverting back to pool, but like I saw something, and it wasn't even a whole abundance of play. It was a few games where I seen the sequence of his play throughout the course of a game, and I'm like, okay, cool. I like, it's so cheap right now. Why would I not?
That's
Garland, the same thing. Like I really like Garland. I worry about his size. And I think you were talking about Sexton with JD the other day. I really liked Sexton at one point.
So did I.
And I still do, as a matter of fact.
But he's done in Cleveland.
You think he's done?
Mm-hmm. That's Gardner's world now.
Yeah, I agree with that. Garland is. I think.
And the only thing about Garland is his size. Like, I always say, small guards catch hell in the NBA. So.
Oh yeah.
He could prove me wrong.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of point guards before him, though, does not prove me wrong.
Yeah, I would not want to be a guard in the NBA. To your point,
at least not a small one, because you got your body's gonna take a beating.
Oh yeah, like Devontae Graham being another guy. It's like I was really high on Devontae Graham at one point. I didn't go crazy with him, but like I was like, dang, this boy can play.
Oh, I remember seeing some Devontae Graham cards that were priced highly.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Not so much, right? Not so much anymore.
That's a hobby, though, man. That's how it goes. Let's jump into some of these comments here about this top 5 list, though. We got to take out Duncan.
Oh, man. The way to
Baker
take
Boy-
out Curry,
Baker
you
Boy's
can't take out Curry. Duncan, I appreciate Duncan, but man, he bores me, bro.
But Baker Boy, let me know if you're taking him out, who you putting in. So Rangers, second, 75th said Duncan can't carry Bird's shoes. Key said about Bird. I just want everybody to know Bird is 33rd on the all-time scoring list. Bird played probably 5 seasons where he was healthy, and he played about another 7 or 8 where he was hurt. Just keep all that in mind now. I think we have this. Bird is a player where we have this. We believe things about. It's like folklore. It's like a fairy tale about Bird. But let's check some of his numbers out. He was great in the playoffs. But
all I know is I watch game film of Bird, and I'm thinking like, not only does he move differently than the players now, but it did. If you take Bird and you put him into a modern day NBA game, what does he do?
I don't know.
What does he do? Like, it's not even realistic. It's not even a realistic question. Like, it's very.
No. That same question has come up about Big O, Elton Baylor, Jerry West. No, that same question comes up. People say the same thing about Bob Cousy. What would Bob Cousy be doing today? No.
It's a fantasy question. You just can't do it. I think JD was talking about AI versus Kyrie. I was really thinking about that one for a while.
I think that's AI all day. That's pretty much locked down right there. I think JD is wishing, but I know he's a Kyrie fan. Even JD knows. I've learned when JD gives you that little smirk, he knows the answer to the question.
Oh yeah. He just won't admit the sad truth.
Bruno,
I feel that.
Says Kobe is way too high at 5. No way, Baker Boy. Let me just get this right, bro. Let's get this right. So you said take out Duncan and Curry, but you over here asking about Dwayne Wade?
It's the same guy.
Same guy.
Oh jeez.
That doesn't line up, brother. That doesn't line up. Sylvester Boston says Isaiah Thomas should be on the list and above Stockton. Now, everybody that watches What's the Flavor, Rolling with FD in general, or What's the Play knows how I feel about Isaiah Thomas.
Where is he at on the list?
He's probably not even on my list, man. I don't even rank Isaiah Thomas top 10 point guard of all time.
Yeah, that's a tough position.
But
I don't think he'd be. I don't think he'd be on my top 10 either. To be honest.
Tony Parker has 4 rings and a Finals MVP.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Curry just 3. No MVP, just Magic Johnson MVP. You know what's funny is that all the Curry people, the people that don't like Curry, right? A week from today, I don't know what they're going to be talking about. All the people that's been like the last 3-4 years, man, he doesn't have Finals MVP. He couldn't win without Tim Duncan. He can't. But they're going to be talking about a week from now.
No, Curry. I'm not even a Warriors fan.
Neither am I.
Yeah, I'm a Lakers fan. And
I'm a Chicago Bulls fan. But I just love to watch people in their respective sport achieve greatness. Yeah. I'm no Patriots fan, but Tom Brady is different.
Yeah, different. So are you a Bears fan?
Oh, yeah, Chicago Bears fan.
What do you think of Fields?
I don't think we can understand who he is until you actually get some blocking.
Yeah.
Like last year, he ran around or got smashed in many games. So get him some blocking. I think he'll be decent. Then we start understanding what's his decision making like when he can actually.
I'm so skeptic of any running quarterbacks at this point.
I think that's most people. I think that's what's haunting the Ravens quarterback. People are looking at, can he develop into passing from the pocket, not relying on the run? Because the run's going to catch up with you. You can ask Steve Young. The run will catch up with you.
Mm-hmm. It'll cut your career in half.
Yeah. You'll retire from things you didn't even know you will probably ail you for years.
Mm-hmm.
Concussions took out Young, took out Troy Aikman, took out a few people. I'm pretty sure they didn't even think at the time when they were running. But Steve Young was running since BYU. That's just part of his game. And if you ask Steve Young to stand in the pocket and pass, that wasn't going to work.
But I don't know. At the same token, I think when you think about sports and how they evolve, so football, for instance, I think the only way that we're really going to see a crazy shift in the game is these hybrid quarterbacks, like Mahomes, like Herbert, like Burrow, even. It's almost going to be you have to have it on your resume. I mean, the only thing really upholding that argument right now is Tom Brady of the world, right? Like, but how many of those are we going to have, right? But RG3, what happened to RG3? Like RG3, like, how about that?
Well, he was a very small, physically small guy.
Yeah.
You can't run like that being that size. This is not, I mean, Baylor was one thing. You can't do that in the NFL. So when he started getting hit and hurt, he got the knee tore up. Now you're running, you'll go to us to run, right? And your knee is not ever going to be the same.
Yeah.
It's like Blake Griffin for them. When you have Amari Solomon, you have microfracture surgery on your knee, you're never going to be the same. Do you jump off 2 feet or 1 foot? Now, if you jumped off 2, I'm going to actually jump off 1 now. Let's say you're right-handed. I'm going to actually jump off your left. You'll never be the same.
No.
So that
not
you
that far.
rely on something and you lean on something and then that gets snatched from under you.
Mm-hmm.
You can
It's interesting though. I mean, it's think about it. Think about every quarterback in the league right now is pretty mobile. A lot of the top quarterbacks, I'd say, are pretty. Josh Allen, another mobile quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I wouldn't call Burrow like, blazing fast, but he's definitely a lot more mobile than the standard quarterback.
Oh, yeah. He's faster than Brady. He can move more.
Yeah.
Yeah. Brady is just like people don't realize who Brady is. So you take the top of this bottle, right? Brady is going to hit this bottle on every throw from 40, 45 yards out. And when he wants to, he'll hit the top of this cap from that same distance. Now, other quarterbacks, I'll get it within 5 yards of you, 10 yards of you. You work and get the ball. That's not Tom Brady, man. So that's why it's very difficult to mimic him or be like him, because his level of accuracy on the pass is crazy.
That's stupid. How comfortable he is in the pocket. Think about how many defenses this man has read. Not even defensive packages. Like, let's just say the blitz is coming. How many blitzes do you think this man has seen?
Mm-hmm.
He knows the body language of a blitzer, and he knows the body language of someone pretending to blitz. He knows the body language. He can see things that just you can't even you can't see on during the course of a game. He can see those things, recognize those things, adapt to those things, and I love watching the dude just based off that. Like I told you before, like I'm watching defenses constantly.
Mm-hmm.
When I'm coaching, I'm obsessed with defense. That's the tactical part of it.
Yes.
There's a lot of instincts that you can kick in on offense and you can make plays, but defense, everybody needs to do their job. Everyone needs to be in the right place, and for him to pick apart defenses that way is crazy. Crazy for this long too, right? I think there's a downfall. A lot of these younger quarterbacks is just they haven't seen enough. They haven't seen enough, and the speed of the game from college to pro has got to be stupid, right?
Well, I also believe that if you're a quarterback and you go to the wrong organization, you've already stunted your growth.
Like based on the tools that are around you, or are they just the coaching staff?
Everything, coaching, management. I was at the car stock show and I was talking to a guy who's a Jets fan. It's like, bro, if you're Zach Wilson, you go to the Jets, you probably already put yourself behind other people. You can't do anything about that. You got drafted, but that organization hasn't produced anything. I remember Ken O'Brien as a kid. That organization hasn't done anything since Joe Namath.
Yeah, I think Curtis. I don't even know his name. Curtis
Martin. Who are you talking
Curtis
about?
Martin.
Yeah. Curtis Martin was cool, but I'm talking about a quarterback that's effective.
Oh yeah, quarterback now. Namath.
That happened.
Yeah, what's his name from Miami for a little bit, right?
Verdi?
Tannehill, wasn't Tannehill on that team for a little bit?
Tannehill may have been, but
I don't know. That Tannehill's great, but
he said recently he doesn't plan to do anything for the quarterback that got drafted out of Liberty. He's like, I don't think I should. I'm here to be his mentor. Think about that.
It's a good paycheck for a mentorship.
Well, Tannehill knows the writing's on the wall. Like he single-handedly put them out of the playoffs last year. Yeah. Nobody's if this guy has any kind of if he's developing at all, Tannehill won't be the quarterback probably by week 5.
No, and nor should he, right? Like, what sense does that make to even have? Unless you have a. Yeah.
Julio Jones said he wants to leave. Brown is already gone. You had that kind of talent at wide receiver, you can't give him the ball.
Yeah, well, how's the line look too, right?
Hey man, I would just call plays, Alex, where you take 2 steps and I'm throwing you the ball.
Just dump. Yeah, dump pass all day.
There's lines left for that. But then we'll see when his running back comes back, how he's doing this year. Oh, Baker Boy says he's referring to Wade on the SG list. Oh yeah, Wade's on the list, man. I think I told you he's at 20. He's at 29. I didn't leave Wade off Baker Boy.
29, yeah, that's fair. I'm cool with that. There's a couple that I don't know about. I'm suspect plays there. Let's see. Oh, that's a tough one, though.
No, man. We'll see. It'd be interesting, though, to see who Kevin Durant pushes out of the top 10. Who does Giannis push out? It's coming.
Yeah, Durant, right? He's another. I don't know why. I always forget him in the thought process.
Because he's with Brooklyn, and you know he's not going to win another championship.
I think it's more his demeanor. Like he doesn't demand. Like I don't know. He's just.
I don't understand this whole burner phone thing and talking to people because they left a comment. I don't understand that about Durant.
Wait, what are you talking about?
You know, Durant had a burner phone a couple of years ago, and every time somebody leaves him a comment now he doesn't like, he's replying to the person on social media.
He's replying through a burner phone?
He was a couple of years ago.
I don't know, man. I'll tell you this, though. His personality from the beginning of the when he first got in the league to now, the league made him a bitter person. He's
a bitter guy.
What happened? Because he wasn't always like that.
No, I don't know. Maybe he was keeping his comments to himself, and they say, you know what,
No, man. He was like lively, and he had that speech to his mom, and like I remember thinking like he was a good kid. He was like, I think he was even like just kind of implemented some spirituality into like that. Kevin Durant's gone.
Yeah, he's went to the dark side, man.
Yeah, he went to the dark side.
He's with Vader now. I don't know.
He's with Vader. He looks like he does not want to be. He does not want to be bothered.
Oh, Baker Boy says Bird and Pippen replace Duncan and Curry. Pippen is number 10.
Pippen is number 10 on the Bulls.
Yeah, he's talking about all time, bro. He said Bird and Pippen replace Duncan and Curry all time, and then
Chicago all time.
Pippen's number 10. All right.
So is it true Pippen and Jordan hate each other? Is that real?
Well, Pip said Mike is not the GOAT and that he was. Then he said Mike couldn't have won anything without him.
Yeah.
Then you notice he didn't show up to the top 75.
That's funny that you said that because I was trying to think about if I saw him there, but I didn't.
He was waving on the screen. He didn't show up. To me, you got to show up, right? And I'm like, Alex, you're not the GOAT. I'm the GOAT. Then I need to fly there and show up.
Well,
Like,
clearly he has some mental things going on. If that's
something going
really
on.
what he thinks.
I don't know, but Pip's 20-year-old son, 24, something like that, passed away. It's probably.
Oh wait, whoa, what?
His son passed away less than a year ago, right before his book came out.
I didn't know that.
Let me see when this was.
I thought he had a son that was playing. He was playing ball for a while.
Yeah, this child, I think it's by another mother, but he was older. Yeah, his son was 33 years old.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And died in June of 2021. So almost a year ago. End of June 2021.
Yeah, man, I can't even go there.
No.
People.
I know if something happened to someone in my family, I'm different.
Yeah.
It's going to affect me. So I chalked it up to some stuff that we don't know about. I didn't even take it seriously. I just thought it was something that we don't know about. He wasn't really just talking about basketball.
I mean, that's got to be tough too, right? To have a career just overshadowed by a guy that's larger than life, right? Literally, we'll never see another Jordan. Like when I say that, I mean there'll never be more of a spotlight and a magnifying glass on one single person in the course of the world, because you could tailor it any way you want back then, right?
Yeah.
The camera would go where the camera goes, and that's all you saw. Now these guys have social medias, and there's they have whole teams behind marketing their brand as individuals, and we fall in love with these guys, right? That are like pretty good average guys. Like we fall in love with them to get deals, whatever. Jordan at that time,
yeah.
And
being on that team, no matter what you do, you could come out and have 30-10. They're still gonna be talking about Michael Jordan.
Oh yeah, well that's that.
And that's
you gotta have 30, 30.
And then Scotty was in a situation where he was underpaid, signed a contract to help his family out. He was making probably 25% of what he should have been making. All this stuff starts building on each other. You're underpaid, you go out, nobody's talking about you.
Yeah.
You take your team to Game 7 of the Eastern Conference Finals and Jordan retired. People talking about Michael Jordan coming back. Sylvester Boston says, even Jordan, who hates Isaiah Thomas, said he is the second best point guard ever. Stockton played with a Hall of Famer. The game when Thomas scored 25 on a bad ankle in the NBA Finals is one of the greatest. Sylvester, all I can tell you is that Michael Jordan is better than me. All right. So I don't see Isaiah Thomas as the second best all the time. That's just me, though. There may be some people out there. It sounds like you are. You may think Isaiah Thomas is high on your list of point guards. Just not me, man. That bad ankle game. A lot of people have bad ankles, man. Just never been an Isaiah Thomas fan. And Alex, I'll tell you why. I said this on the show before. Isaiah Thomas from Chicago, right? Went to Indiana, go to school. At one point, he was calling himself Mr. Chicago as far as the best player from the city ever. This was around the same time that Michael Jordan started playing. Isaiah Thomas also went to Michael Jordan's first All-Star game, wouldn't pass him the ball. When he lost to the Bulls in 91 in the East Conference Finals, he walked up the court, didn't shake anybody's hand.
Yeah. See, I have a big problem with that. And this has obviously I can't plague him on the court with this, but he seems like one of those guys that was going to smile in your face, play the good guy, and then behind just troll behind. And I don't associate. I just don't identify I don't like that kind of stuff.
Yeah, mess with
even just watching that, he always has that big old shit grin.
Always smiling about something. I can't mess with
It's like Dwight Howard. Dwight Howard, same thing. What are you smiling about all the time, dude?
I don't know. So I respect those who think Isaiah Thomas is, but I just I can name all point guards right now that I think are better than Isaiah Thomas. So I appreciate his Boston.
Yeah.
Adrian says Irving won the championship with James, and AI got to the finals with a questionable team. Yeah, I don't know who's one-on-one as a guard. I don't know who's handling AI.
I don't know either. AI he's kind of a generational player too in his own right. Like,
he was.
I mean, if we want to get even beyond basketball, he was the first dude coming out in sleeve, wearing of tattoos and
Corn rolled
has
up.
the
Yeah,
corn rolled up. Like he was going to be AI, was going to be AI, and he kind of brought that street ball dynamic a little bit into organized basketball. Which was about what's another cool thing. Did you watch that street ball documentary? It's like an N1.
I watched part of it. I didn't watch the whole thing. I planned to.
That was interesting. Yeah, those are my guys. So AI was my guy back in that time frame. Baron Davis was another one of my guys.
Davis was nice.
Yeah, Baron Davis was nice. Steve Francis was another one. Marbury was another one.
Think about all the small guards you're naming right there.
Yeah, they're all very similar. Like
all dynamic players though, but longevity caught up to him.
Francis.
When Baron Davis hurt that knee, I mean, he was even good enough though to still keep his game going after he hurt that knee.
Oh yeah, bro.
He was something else.
He adapted. He became a different player.
Yep.
100%. But that was like that might have been the best point guard time frame that I've ever seen.
Probably so.
Like that. What it was like the 2000 early 2000s.
Just like Kenny Anderson, right? Longevity caught up to him.
Yeah. And those guys were getting beat up. Like if you looked at a map of AI's body, there was like this thing that I saw where he talked about all his injuries. It was literally almost every limb was broken at some point.
So Sylvester asks, what makes Stockton better than Thomas? And then he made the statement, why you might not be a Thomas fan, but you can't question his talent. Thomas was on crutches. He could not walk. I think I just met the number one Isaiah Thomas fan. He is the only
who has more assists?
I don't think that's even a question. It's Stockton.
Right. I mean, isn't Stockton number one?
Yeah. I don't know. Sylvester, I appreciate you being an Isaiah Thomas fan. You're just talking to someone who is not. It's all, and we can agree to disagree. It's all good.
Honestly, I didn't get enough. I didn't get to watch enough of Thomas. I was like a little bit before my time. Little bit. I was born in '87, so what? He was early '90s.
Yeah, '87. He was winning when you were 2 or 3. Is when he was winning championships.
Yeah, I wasn't doing too much analyzing back then.
My brother graduated. It's funny, Alex. My brother graduated high school in '87.
Yeah. Only reason I got to watch Jordan play because WGN came in on Channel 2 in San Diego. So, like by default, I was going to be a Bulls fan. It just so happened like Michael Jordan played on, and they aired every single game.
Yeah, every game.
I remember Channel 2 had to push it in on the TV. 02.
As soon as you turned it on, straight greatness on the screen.
Oh my gosh, it's crazy. There's no rewinding, no. Like you were sitting down and watching the game. There's no recording.
Remember back in the day too, like there was nothing on the screen to tell you what the score was. So if you left the room, you were already coming back in. Like, what's the score and what quarter are we in?
They didn't have that, like the ticker on the bottom.
There was nothing on the football game to tell you what the first time was.
Oh yeah, I imagine.
Unless they said down in distance. You
It's
was
probably
like,
very subjective too, right? For
yeah,
the referees.
how far are we away from the end zone? Every time you left the room, you had to get that update. Alex, where are you right now, man? Where you at?
I'm in San Diego.
Oh, okay. Cool.
I'm in San Diego. Yeah, I'm down at Harrah's Resort, actually, to be
Cool.
precise. There's the pool down there, and I'm relaxing.
Chill.
I'm enjoying a little time off right now, to
You
be
should.
honest.
You should.
I am. I am. My son is on vacation, so
Mhm.
I'm enjoying myself a little bit.
Enjoy
And when I
yourself,
say
bro.
enjoying myself, like I just have it like my own thoughts to myself, a little peace of mind, bro. So,
There's nothing wrong with that, brother.
yes, sir.
Hey, is there anything that you want to say about shows that you have coming up before we end our time?
Yeah. First off, I went to the Newport Showcase this past weekend. Very good show. Had a lot of fun. We got a chance to catch up, made some deals. Um, I always like to go to these shows and enjoy them from an outsider's perspective, not be coordinating them. And EJ does a fantastic job
He
of being
does.
methodical with the things that, with the detail. He pays attention to detail. I've always been, admired that about him. So got to go do that this past weekend. So shout out to them. We have a satellite event that we're running. It's kind of a cool dynamic down in San Diego. And we're having it at a batting cage that's kind of near Petco Park. And it's on some turf. And some of the Padre players, this is where they go and do their batting practice, right? And so we obviously have a big youth push to what we're doing. I think a lot of that is us both having kids
Mm-hmm.
and getting them into the hobby, teaching them about the business aspects, and just really just the nostalgic part of it, getting your kids into something that you loved at one point. So we're really big on that. So we're really reaching out to a lot of the youth programs, getting them involved, um, introducing them to the hobby, or maybe reintroducing like some of the parents into it. So we have a show this upcoming weekend, and then we also have our night show at Escondido, which you've been to, that we have once a month.
Great show. Great show.
And it's all just a resume builder for Del Mar, which obviously is coming in October. And, we try to always level up with these things. So I expect to blow the last Del Mar out of the water. And there's going to be people from all over the country, really, really out of the country that we've been talking to. So
Very cool.
a lot of work being done with that. So it never ends. It's a full-time gig, 100%.
That's good, man. I mean, the Escondido show that we talked about is a great environment. It's cool. It's a family oriented. I think every show that you all do, and EJ and other shows, but I see families there. I see people walking around with their children. I see conversations about cars, families catching up with other families. It's a cool environment. Escondido is like that. Del Mar is like that. I can't wait to one day come to your batting cage show. It'd be cool to see.
Oh, yeah, it's cool. It's a cool, different dynamic. I think we're going to keep on pushing the envelope and different things that we're going to do, and if it aligns to like our ethics and just our overall vision, we'll try it out like 100%. And obviously, got to make it enjoyable and valuable for everybody, vendors, attendees. Uh, Now you're onboarding some of the sponsors and things like that, but there's so many different innovative ways to do things. There's not one right way or one way to do any certain thing. So I think Wiley is extremely innovative, kind of such as myself, and he's really putting an emphasis on the same thing. So I'm excited to see where this thing goes as a whole. We just opened up a marketplace on our website as well, so you'll be able to go on there and purchase cars that will have at a very good price. So you'll be able to check that out at some point. There's a shop that we opened up. And now we actually have like a StubHub style selection for your tables. So you can actually go in there and pick where you want to be for the
Cool.
Del Mar event. and as far as satellite shows as well. So I'm learning the whole tech side of things and the dev portion of the business. And so, Wiley and I wear many hats and a lot of things that people don't see. And, I'm excited. I'm excited for the overall vision and the things we have coming up. But I won't bore you too much with all the boring stuff. But a lot of spreadsheets and a lot of phone calls and a lot of paperwork, man.
I'm excited, man. I'm excited to be there myself and just be a part of the community that's at the show. And I think it's going to be real cool, especially after going to the last one. I can only imagine.
I think that I think we might have some cool concepts for you, FD. And I think that, we're always thinking about ways to implement people. Always. Like, and one cool thing on the last show was, Mama Breaks and kind of the scavenger hunt that she had.
That was a good
like,
thing.
which was completely her idea, by the way. Like, I'm not, like, sometimes those things kind of slip me a little bit. But things like that, right? Like things that are interactive that you're gonna remember the experience of it all.
Yeah.
Like walking through that red carpet. How do you feel walking through that red carpet?
Mm-hmm. Wonderful.
Seeing these build outs. Like you walk out, you see the ocean. How do you feel? You go out to trade night. How's that? What's the overall like takeaway? Not just from the card show, not just from the cool build outs or whatever the deal is. Like, what was your overall experience from A to Z? Even you and I talking in the hotel, I was beat. I was just done.
Oh, I could tell, but I knew that you had put in a lot of work, and it was just coming up to something like that. I can only imagine the level of fatigue and also the mental. Like, wow, I can't believe this is actually happening. And those two things together, man, that was an impressive event, man. We were involved in conversation just about the overall event, being there and after. And I can only imagine what other people thought. It was impressive. You and Wiley, man, you handled your business. That was, and you had a team of people handling things. So that was a great. I was happy. G and I were happy to just be there, not hear about this. We talked about this driving back. Like, we didn't want to be there and just hear about it or have somebody tell us about it. We wanted to actually be there.
Yeah. And then, and I'm looking back, like I finally got to enjoy it. Maybe like a week later, 2 weeks later, and when I'm able to go watch all the content, like seeing you and JD sit down and like I'm finally able to experience. Because during it, like I don't get to experience it.
Mm-mm.
It's way too many moving parts, and I do my best to, mark off my checklist of things to do throughout the course of a show, which I'm hoping eventually it could get to a point where it can kind of run itself without me having to do so many of the logistical parts of things, and really enjoy it. Because I'm sure at the national, for instance, like the guys, the founders, or Comic Con, let's take Comic Con for instance.
Yeah,
like the founders, they're probably not on the ground level anymore. They're probably able to go out there and experience something that they created. So for me, and Wiley, I would say is like that's the end goal, is to be able to go to my own show that I have full faith in going to as a collector, that I'm going to enjoy it, go make some deals, have fun, have an experience, and trust in the team that we assembled to have it flow the way it needs to flow.
True.
So we're going to push the envelope until we can't anymore. So that's the goal, and it's going to be an experience. And we got the whole Hilton rented out this go around, and I imagine it's going to be a pretty cool trade night, to say the least.
It's going to be something special. Then I know after that there are going to be more special things coming. But you know me, man. I mean, any way I can help, be involved, anything, I'm all in.
I appreciate that, and I definitely have some ways to incorporate FD 100%, and I plan on it, my man.
All right, I appreciate that. G appreciates.
I appreciate it, hey man. I know, and shout out to G, and shout out to Junior too.
Oh, I always wanted to.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
Young man
But
was
he's
saying.
gonna have to make a new hook. We'll probably have to pay him a little bit. No big deal. I have no problem. We'll come out of pocket and make the hook like the theme song for the show. That'll be our first deal. That'll be our first ink.
He really enjoyed that, man. He really enjoyed. I actually want to bring him to Del Mar in October. I'm gonna want to try to do that. We're gonna start with a bigger show. Like this was, I wanted to bring him to Newport because it's a bigger show, and because I want him to learn things about conducting himself in front of people and shaking hands and talking about. That's the ground level. I want him to understand how that goes, and I want to move him over to the Burbank show that's coming up. And then I really want him. I haven't even talked about that here yet, but that's how my mind works. I would like for him to be at Del Mar because he had a lot of questions, Alex, when we came back. We FaceTime with him each day when we were there and let him kind of see the show. Like I would show him what the show looked like on the iPhone, but I'd like for him to at least be there to experience it. And then because there's stuff we can do, we can get him out. I have him do other stuff, and
100%.
I think
and the shows are such a great atmosphere to learn those skills, right? Like because you can go like maybe an interaction doesn't go the way you plan it. You're gonna have 100 different times to do it.
Yep.
And I'm really big. So when we go out, I want to take my son out to dinner. Like that's when we really implement these things. So we make eye contact with the server. Like we say, thank you, please. Obviously the basis, but projection of your voice, like Luke, like this, like, and know what you want. Be ready by the time they come around. So when I hear those things, like I get the same excitement as when someone comes up to me about an out of 10 card, because these are things I'm actively working on day after day. Like you may go make a play on the field. Like one time, like I almost lost my shit. He kind of tossed the flag at an opponent. He was all hyped. I get it. You get in the emotion, and he's like, here. And I pulled him. I yanked him out of the game. I chewed him a little bit, and I was like, you hand him the flag. You hand him the flag. I don't care what anybody else does out here. They can throw it on the ground and do all that, but you're gonna hand them the flag in a lineup, and you're gonna go do it again. You want to conduct yourself like that? Don't even play on my team. Go find another coach.
That's true.
Thing. Like
that's true.
I'm not with all that. Not with all that.
Very true, man. Those are
he does that at the wrong place. Guess what? He's gonna get one of those right to the face.
Those are the core principles, man. So those are the things I work with Junior on. Junior's he's a free spirit. He's got his own personality. Like, we're at Newport and they're playing music and we're in the middle of an aisle. People trying to walk by and Junior just starts dancing. Just starts breaking it down.
Yeah.
Dancing to the music. I'm like, Junior, we got to move you to the side, man. If you're going to do that, enjoy yourself.
Man. Maybe Junior hopefully Junior will be ready for an interview come Del Mar. And we'll interview Junior.
I think. Oh yeah. We're gonna have a little Father's Day thing, where him and I are gonna do kind of interview each other.
This Sunday?
No, it's gonna come up this weekend. Yep.
Yes.
We did something last year for Father's Day. We're gonna do something this year. Last year we put it on his channel, and I think this year we're gonna put it on Rolling with FC.
Oh yeah, he has his own channel.
Yeah, Adventures of Super Junior.
I've seen Instagram, so I followed him on IG. But he has his own YouTube?
He has his own YouTube. We're going to make... We haven't made any new episodes really since last summer. We're going to start making some more this summer. And those episodes, so people know out there, G directs all of that. Like, I want him to... I told him to be creative with that. And then we, like Mom and I, will come in and kind of help give a message to Junior if he needs to have somebody talk to him about something. But I want G to kind of work with him and have those episodes be his, where he's a kind of creative. And then we're there as like consultants to talk to him about if he has not talked to somebody about it.
That's huge. He's exercising that creative mind.
I want him to be creative.
And
I want Junior to be able to take feedback from someone that's not it's working two ways.
Somebody that likes Isaiah Thomas, like more than Kobe Bryant or whatever.
Right?
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
want
you have to deal with that.
I want Junior to be able to take feedback, and then G to be able to give it. Yeah, man, that'd be cool.
I'm excited. I'm excited for that series. Now I might not watch your show anymore. I might only watch his.
Oh, that's cool. You know, he
Oh man.
has one Godzilla episode that we did with him. I watched some Godzilla movies with him, and then we did some other stuff. That episode is
So it's not hobby. It's not hobby based. It's just like whatever he wants to do.
having fun. No, it's just him having fun. And that episode's up to 2.2K views. We talk about this all the time.
Oh, jeez.
Like Junior's up to 2.2. I think it's like almost a year old.
Outpacing? Is Junior outpacing you right now?
Yeah, he could be. He's definitely outpacing anything I did at 6 years old.
Oh well, yeah, right.
That's the thing, man.
So on all Luke's, papers at school and stuff. Like, what do you want to do and stuff? He wants to be a YouTuber.
Yeah, if he wants to be,
that's what he thinks he wants to do. I don't know. I don't know what that looks like. I don't think he knows what that looks like.
Well, so Junior graduated from kindergarten on last Friday, right? There were some kids in his class saying they want to be firefighters, they want to be police officers, they want to be a doctor. Junior even said he wanted to be a firefighter. I don't know if Junior knows what a firefighter really does and is, but it's all good.
I remember I said I wanted to be a police officer, and I think it was second grade, and that was just because everybody wanted to be a police officer.
Everybody wanted to be a police officer. Every story Junior reads has some service person in it, just about police officer. So you're a firefighter. So his mind may go to that first, but it's all good, man. I don't like when I said when he said that to me, I was like, oh, okay. And he was kind of looking at me at it. I'm not shooting at that.
You should take him out next week and go do some firefighter training, right? Go do some.
Go run
get the tire, get the big old tire, do some tire flips.
Climb a ladder.
Yeah. Like, climb a ladder, get the hose, do some sprints with the hose. I'll change real quick, I'm sure.
Yeah, I used to know a firefighter who would go through training, and I actually went one day and watched. No joke, man. And people lives on the line, no joke.
Yeah, you talk about high stress, right?
Sam says, first time comment and awesome broadcast. Watch all your videos. Thank you very much, Sam. Hero 3 says on the 5,000. We're working to get there.
Yes, sir.
Big John, what's up? What's up, Big John? Good to have you here. It's good to have Alex on. We just so people know, we've talked about this a couple of times. It's good to have him on.
Yeah.
So, I want to have.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah, it's good.
Anytime we just, this is like a therapeutic to me. I just enjoy talking to you for one, and two, there's just, I feel like we cover a lot of ground, man. Like we cover a lot of ground in these conversations, and it's always good to get outside of your bubble a little bit, because we live in this bubble, and it can get very, I don't want to say suffocating, but we can get very one-dimensional, possessive over what we're doing, and sometimes we got to take a step back. I think everybody does.
I agree.
Everybody.
This is why a lot of times when I go to shows, even when I bring children out of 9, the focus for me most of the time is just about catching up with some people. And then we'll start talking about maybe a card, but it's really about catching up with people. I walk in, start talking to folks and getting an update on some things. And that's really what my focus is. Always has been, really. And then the cards come into play. But there have been shows that we've walked and we may get through 75% of the show and be like, we really haven't even looked at the card yet.
Oh, I'm sure. Especially that's only going to get worse too. I think, you're already nationwide. Once you become, I can only imagine. I imagine it's already like that for you, to be honest.
Well,
so I got a question.
What's up?
What's FD's end game, and where do you see FD in 5 years from now?
Oh, I'm always passionate about bringing more people into the hobby. introducing the hobby to people that may not have been introduced to. I would like to, I get excited about working with the union, doing more stuff with you all. Because I think my thoughts are, you're going to start having more shows, maybe even in different places than you do right now. That when I came to Delmar, the first thing came to my mind. Talk to G about that. This is going to be on a whole nother level. I would like to see more of the country and experience more of the country as far as show environment, and represent more diversity there with women, children, people of color. Those are the things I'm focusing on right now.
Yeah.
That's what my mind is all the time.
I love it. I agree. Some of those things are a big focal point for me, and I know that once that foundation is really there, who we are as a brand and a company, and like just individuals, right? Like people have to trust you and learn to know who you are and things like that. Then you can really take what you have and use it for the things that you believe in. And in the back of my mind, the union is kind of going to be the tool for that. If I'm able to navigate and really execute what it is that we have. And I'm excited for everything that you brought. Each one of those things have importance to me. So I'm excited for you too. I have been since the jump.
Thank you.
I really think that, and the analysis that you put into what you do is awesome to see. Even just talking about sports, right? Like I could see the rolling with FD. I could see the ESPN segment, man. I'm not no bullshit. Like
I take it seriously,
cool
Alex. I take it seriously. Even before we ever got on, I have some friends, and when we talk about stuff, we challenge each other to analyze what we're talking about and come to the table. And that's what I love when and I also love the back and forth, right? Because it's always going to be on a certain level. Like we're talking about stuff a particular way. It's never going to get any other way. So even when people chime in and start talking about Isaiah Thomas, like I've broken down Isaiah Thomas's career, as well as other players, and it's just something about sports in general that's not just the playing side, which we've done, but also the analytical side and the understanding of the game. And like I'll talk about when you look at, that's what a Poole John Morant question came up. When you look at young players, you've seen something like them before. And then what do you see that going? And some of these players will shock you. Because I remember when Kobe Bryant was young and playing in the NBA, you could see he had it. My father and I used to talk about this. Like he has it. But just like we're talking about Poole right now, Kobe would sometimes go to the cup and instead of just laying the ball up or maybe even dunking it, he'd take it to the other side and dunk it. Just to take it to the next level. Dale Harris put him in at 11 points. He's going to make sure before he got back to the bench, he had 16. Nick Van Exel and whoever else is on the court, they're not shooting the ball because Kobe's going to shoot the ball. And I think as he got more experience, we talk about these other players now, as he got more experience and knew, okay, they picked me over this person's leaving. I'm next up with Shaq, things start changing a little bit. And I think that when you see that kind of stuff over time, and now we're a little bit older, you start seeing what could these other players go. I like John Morant a lot.
I do too. Not taking anything away from John Morant.
I really want him to play as long as he can. Yeah. I don't want to see him get hurt. I want to see a jump shot, a mid-range develop, him be able to shoot the three, and then take you off and be physical and dunk on you.
100%. I want to see Ja adapt his game, right? Like, if he continues to be this dominant and explosive, why would he change? Why would he change it up?
There you go.
This
And
is
I'm
what's
pretty
worked
sure
for
he has
this.
people in
This is
Memphis
what.
in his ear.
Wow.
Oh,
Oh
man,
yeah.
you killing them. Man, you destroying people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and this is what's gotten you this far. So I think the successful players from this point on are just going to be the ones who are able to adapt as a player, because this is all you've known up until a point, and if you're having to change that, like Luca, for instance, such a odd player, right? Like such a he's a very interesting player to me because he slows the game down so much, brings the
Well,
game to him.
I think in order
He
to win the
never
championship, he's going to have to speed that game up a little bit.
He's going to speed it up, but he's also going to have to learn to. He's going to have to adapt his game, right? He's conquered things that a lot of players can't conquer, right? They can build, they can create, they can slow the game down to their own pace. He never seems like stressed out there. He's been doing this since he was like 14, 15, 16 years old. But it's interesting. It's interesting. NBA. This is why I love the NBA. So this is why I'm such a big basketball fan, is because there's so many different factors into the sport of basketball, and it's ever changing. Like it's ever the game from the '90s is so much different than it is from today. And what makes a player good nowadays is they can really change on a whim, because I think all these players are so damn good.
Yeah. That's some real talent in the NBA. So we got a question from Sam. Oh, he already said, we already got that one. Hero 3 said, you have that clay nearby. I don't have it by me, but I do have a picture of it. Hope you can see this. The background may take it out.
The silver?
This is the green. That's why I was taking it out. 2014 Panini Prism, green Prism, Klay Thompson, Pop 5, I think. Pop 5 or 6. So.
That's crazy. So you think they're just out floating around, or you think that that's it? Like where did those cards go?
What cards?
The green. How's that Pop 5?
Let me check this out. It's either Pop 5 or Pop 23. Let me check it out. I think people are sleeping on Klay. Tell you the truth.
Well, I agree. After the way he's been playing, if you're new to the NBA and you're just watching now, like this is your first year of really watching, like what is he showing you?
Oh yeah, so this is Pop 6 card.
That's crazy. What was the print run on greens back then?
It had to be extremely low in 2014.
Think so?
Think so.
Pop 5. What is that at? Just out of curiosity.
What is it? What?
What is that? What is the Klay green comp at?
I got it for $200.
Imagine it costs a lot more than that.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't even know. Like that's a tough card. I'm trying to think of what I would value that at. It's off the top of my head. I try not to be so comp heavy on things. I just put like, okay, let's see.
I just look at there's some things sometimes it's like, there's a rare Klay Thompson. When did he come out? 2011?
Yeah, somewhere around there.
2 years after Seth, I think. So this is a rare Klay Thompson card. At that point I just try to find a good deal. Like I still aspire to have some rookie Klay Thompson stuff one day. I don't have any of that.
I don't have any rookie Klay either.
Mm-hmm.
Where's JD? Oh, this guy's bored with me or what? What's going on?
No. Dexo, JD is at his daughter's birthday party.
Yeah. Shout out to JD.
He came on originally at the beginning. What is my end game card? What does that mean? What do you mean by end game card? Hero, let me know what you're talking about there. Hero says that wasn't Kobe switching dunk, and that was Vince Carter. That was also Kobe Bryant, sir. Yeah.
Shout out VC though.
Yeah, VC was something else. It's not a person that doesn't get enough love in the hobby.
Yeah, I don't get that. I don't understand that one.
I think because he played years in Toronto.
I had the Shocks. Remember those Shocks that he had? The Nike Shock.
Yeah. A lot of people rock those. Oh, yeah.
I used to have the VCs.
Hard shoe to clean.
The what?
There's a hard shoe to keep clean.
Oh, yeah. It's a hard shoe not to roll your ankle in, too.
Mm-hmm.
They were so narrow.
Narrow, and when you came down, it was like, oh, you on a platform. You know? Yeah, I used to get into gym shoes, man.
Well, FD, listen, I appreciate you having me on, brother.
Bro, I really appreciate it.
I really do.
Thank you
It's
for
always a pleasure. Of course. Of course. Let's do it again sometime before Del Mar. Maybe get Wiley's dummy ass in here too, and we can bounce some ideas.
Like to talk to Wiley. Big John said he went to his first show, had a lot of fun. Big John, we got to talk about that. He will say, "Is there a card out there that you would never sell?" Hero, most of my collection, I don't move, man. I buy for a reason. I'm on a long-term plan. I'm different that way than probably most people that you'll see talking about cards, especially on.
I don't think I've ever seen you sell a card.
I moved some stuff a couple of weeks ago, maybe about 3 or 4 weeks ago. I went to Burbank and sold some stuff, but then I immediately bought some comics with it.
Oh, the LeBron? Did you sell the LeBron? Right?
No, I sold some other smaller cards. Like I got rid of a Dwayne Wade card, a few others. Some stuff I didn't think was going to grow the way I wanted it to grow. I remember that day I sold those cards, went to LA Card Shop in Burbank, went next door to a comic book store, and purchased my first Stan Lee autograph Spider-Man. Graded 7.0.
I'm assuming you're never getting rid of that.
So that's if you see me move something, I either got an idea about something I'm going to do, or it's going into a fund, and I'm going to invest in something that I think has growth to it.
Gotta have a game plan.
Gotta have it. Alex, I appreciate you. You know I keep you on here.
I appreciate you too. Yeah, I know I could too.
Bro, I appreciate you for being on here. Always appreciate your time. Can't wait till the next time I see you. If I can't make it to the Baton event this coming weekend, there will be one this summer that G and I will come down to.
Absolutely, man. Anytime. Anytime, you guys are more than welcome. Anything you need, you can always let me know. And call me anytime, brother. For real.
All right, bro. You know you're going to hear from me tomorrow night, right?
Oh, shit. I might be back on tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, bro. It's going down in Golden State.
I'm
going to be on with Stephanie fourth quarter if you want to come back on. It's all good with me. And it could be much shorter. Like we can talk for a little bit and move on.
Yes, sir. I'll be tuned in regardless. So
you know, Stephanie, it's going to be a great conversation. I'm looking forward to that. I've been looking forward to this for a long time.
Oh yeah, she I think I'll be tuned into that. I love Steph and her vision, and she deserves the limelight. We had enough conversation today.
She does deserve it. I'm gonna learn something more about her that I know I don't know right now. But brother, you have a good one, man.
I appreciate you, brother.
Yes, sir.
Yep.